Salt.
Fella done me wrong. He's also a huge dork.
I don't trust men who smile too much. Good, honest hatred. Very refreshing.
What the f***'s going on with these member berries?
Hey guys, how's it going? So we're missing Danny. We're not sure. He should be. We postponed an hour because he had something going on, and he said he'd be home in an hour. But obviously, he's running a little bit behind, and we didn't want to keep you guys hanging. So hope you're all doing well. And Yosef, the Random Menace, is here. So let me just say in front of everybody. Oh, that's not Yosef. That's Jason. There he is. Not Shaw's not dead, only tired. Yosef is old friend of the channel, and he's not usually here when we're live because he lives on the other side of the planet in Slovakia, so he's usually in bed when I'm streaming. But he just announced early this morning that he is going to be a dad come August, so which means that he'll be able to join us on our live streams shortly after.
Because he'll be up forever.
Yes, yeah.
Welcome to the club, Yosef. Awesome.
Yeah. So, which is awesome. But good. And I'm actually working on a video just for you about that, Yosef. So keep an eye out for that. But good to see you. So I don't know. What should we do? Should we try to wait a few minutes before you get into the episode proper, or do you want to just get into it and hope that Danny catches up once we?
We'll give him a couple minutes, but at this point, I am going to call out Thomas for being the ultimate jinx on Star Trek review night.
Yeah, so Thomas, you're no longer allowed to predict Star Trek review scores because whenever you do, Jason doesn't enjoy it very much.
You are affecting the universe in mysterious ways, and it's no longer acceptable.
So yes, this was. I'm not gonna lie. We need Danny here to be the ray of sunshine that he always is when it comes to this show, because I'm struggling with this episode. I know you were struggling a little bit with this episode.
Yeah, and if it's just the two of us, you could end up being Palpatine to my Luke, and I'd just be going, "Let go of your don't let go of your anger, embrace your anger."
Yeah, yes, I can feel your anger.
Yeah,
it gives you focus.
Yeah,
I'll say this: I'm trying to be as positive as I can. Overall, it was a well-made episode. It was a well-done episode, but some of the creative decisions they made in this episode just absolutely baffled me. They made some of the characters, in my opinion, just dumb in order to move the plot forward. And they also did some things with characters that I just didn't believe those characters would do. Like, for example, and I know people have been joking about this ever since last week when we knew this was going to happen, but the fact that Troy sits down with a traumatized patient and says, "Don't worry, this is a safe place. I'm going to be with you," and then immediately bolts out the door.
Yeah.
That's not some. I'm sorry. Troy is a licensed therapist and everything. She would not do that.
Although I will say this, that was rapidly headed towards being my hot take. If they had just left us hanging for another 20 or 30 minutes,
man, I would have been so mad.
Let me tell you, because I got up early to watch this episode, and I'm eating breakfast watching this, and then all of a sudden it's like lights, and then cuts the scene, and I was like, "Don't you even?"
Right.
And then when of course it was only a couple of moments later, and then they revealed it. But man,
right. Yeah, could you imagine if you had to wait until the end of the episode before the big reveal?
Yeah.
Like if Troy was just so traumatized she couldn't say anything. and like they had to find someone that could figure it out. They finally got a Vulcan to mind meld with her, and the last few seconds the Vulcan looks up at Picard and says, "It's the Borg," and then it cuts to black, you know.
Oh yeah, I need to punch a kitten now.
Yes. Oh, I felt like much kitten punching was needed today.
Yeah.
And so
yeah, I don't want to say too many things that I want to say while Danny's also on, but man, this is like this episode, the way it made me feel. This is, for all of the episodes so far, this is the bipolar episode for me.
Right. And the problem is, it's like
so much I want to not like.
Right. The fact that it was the Borg was, I mean, at this point, who else could it be? You know, it really was kind of a. I mean, I still wanted it to be Nagilum. I knew that was a long shot, but I think that would have been cooler.
Yes, I agree. I agree with GK. Persistence is futile.
Yes,
because they never win anyway. So yeah, exactly.
Well, remember I sent you? I sent him a message earlier saying I am predictus of Borg.
Yeah,
you knew I was coming.
Yeah. I don't know, Stan. I haven't seen anything, but so far, the understanding, if you base it off of what Brian from the Popcast said, the next episode is a standard length episode, because him and his brother Shane had wished that it would be released as both episodes in the same day.
Right.
So we'll see.
And yeah, so and Kronos, yeah, I know A472 could still show up, and I hope that doesn't happen, because we've already, I mean, just the idea, I mean, there's so many questions that they're probably not going to answer.
Well, they've already, at this point, they have so little time to close everything up. I don't even know how they explain the floating flesh face.
Floating flesh face. How are they going to explain that? How do they even explain how the Borg and the changelings formed an alliance?
Well, considering that their empires exist in two separate quadrants of the galaxy.
Well, not only that, but these changelings are specifically from the Alpha Quadrant.
Yeah, these are the rogue ones that broke away from the Great Link. Yeah.
So,
not sure what Dark Frontier is, because I don't get into the books or anything like that. So, don't know about that one, dreamer out there.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's so much to explain that they're probably not going to, because they're just going to figure that the audience is going to be going, "Oh, cool," which, honestly, if you look at the reaction from a lot of people, that is what a lot of people are doing. Which is another thing that boggles my mind, is how then Bird says floating face is the Borg Queen.
Dark Frontier, the biogenic nanoprobe virus. Oh, yeah, kinda. That's true. From Voyager.
Yeah. But yeah, there was an idea of they could use it as a long range delivery where they could assimilate people from afar. I that. But you know, but the problem there, Bert, is if the floaty face is the Borg Queen, why would the Borg Queen communicate that way? It makes no sense.
Well, and the other thing that's broken is Jack is supposed to be a transmitter, not a receiver.
Right. And yet he's been receiving.
What? Yeah, exactly.
And now he's just, now, I did think it's funny, and Bird pointed this out in his video. And if you haven't seen Bird's video, you should watch it. It's always fun to watch his little critiques of these episodes. But
Thomas, is that a snipe at me? I don't hate Voyager. I really don't.
There were no space fireworks in Voyager. Those fireworks were over San Francisco Bay. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Those were not space fireworks, sir. And so then I forgot what I was going to say. I do like Joseph says that Troy will crash the Enterprise D into the Borg cube. That I would not be surprised if that happened. And yeah, how did Worf wreck the Enterprise E? I understand that that's a reference to a book, but I don't care. You know, that's another one that it's like no, you don't.
It's it's considered alpha canon.
Yeah.
So
you just destroyed you destroyed the Excelsior off screen, and then you destroy the Enterprise E off screen when a casual throwaway line. That is not cool. I'm sorry. I did not think that was cool.
Oh yeah. Sanity now. If it was Murder Doctor Borgarati, I would refuse to watch the next episode. Not really, but that's how I would feel.
And yes, I know I was telling people reasons to watch your show, but then I can't remember what it was that I wanted to mention specifically about your review. There was something you said that I wanted to mention because that you nailed something that I thought was funny.
Is that Sanity now?
No, Bird was.
Oh, Bird's review. Oh, I didn't have much time today, so all I did was jump to the end and got his score.
Yeah,
I was surprised at how high Bird marked.
I didn't actually finish Bird's video, so I don't know how high his score was yet. What did he end up getting? I know he liked it.
He gave it an 8 out of 10.
Okay,
yeah. Which again, this is going to be my bipolar review is coming with 2 scores.
Right. So let me try. I'm going to try to call Danny. So let me mute this for a second, just in case he's
sure. The Explorers. Now I have to go look that episode up. So I don't remember which one that is. Yeah, Dreamer out there. I definitely remember all that from that arc when Seven was back with the collective, but still separated from the collective. So she was independent. Ignored by Jason. I'm not ignoring anybody. I'm talking to you right now. I'm just IMDbing.
He just got home. He'll be on in just a minute.
Okay. What Thomas? What season was that in?
And Brian asks if a changeling can be assimilated by the Borg. They shouldn't be able to be, because the changelings have no DNA, and we've seen how the Borg nanoprobes work. But hey, whatever.
Well, at this point, anything is possible, right?
Right. But then, we haven't seen the Borg in a decade, except for the ones that we saw last year.
Yeah.
Oh,
and don't forget there was no Starfleet when the
NX-01
was
was made. Good thing they made Starfleet. Oh goodness. So yes, we're going to be a couple of cranky old men with Danny.
Oh yeah.
All right. So any second now, Danny. He said he's signing into his computer right now when I was talking to him, which probably meant he was still in his car.
I'm pulling in the yard, and then I'm signing into my computer.
So and that's I don't know if they're going to even mention the Girardi Borg. They should, because that's kind of a big deal if the Borg were trying to join the Federation. And the thing is that if those are other Borg, they're still Borg. You can't, you wouldn't say, oh, we've never heard from the Klingons in a decade. If you were just attacked by the Klingons, it was just a different house than the one you're talking to now. Right?
Yeah.
And there he is. Hey, Danny.
Hey.
Am I here? Hey.
You are.
Yes.
Hey, where are the monkeys? Oh, you started without me. I'm sorry. I'm late, guys. Check out my
Well, we had to
sweet
start.
swag.
No, you just caught it on a frame. We've just been grumbling is all. Oh, nice.
yeah,
You
yeah.
got a
We haven't actually
salty.
started the review yet. We've just
Okay.
been
Yeah, no, I went to the Salty Nerd Studio to test stuff out, and I'm going to be a guinea pig for them this Sunday for my wrestling show. So it should be cool. And then I got this sweet hat while I was there. So yeah.
Yeah. So now
Nice.
you're advertising for them on my show. I gotta say,
You know what? Not only them, hey guys, if you like this sweet design that's a cross between Final Fantasy and Kill Bill Volume 2, just go to mixtees.com/Dork Knight LV. Use the promo code the Popcast for 20% off your order. There you go.
Oh yeah, and Thomas sent me, but those are Bajoran space fireworks. They don't count. They're not Federation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Stan Lee just warmed my heart. Is that true what he said?
What?
All they've been saying is, "Where's Danny? We miss Danny. Too bad Danny's not here." That's so sweet.
No, that's not all they were saying. But,
okay, well, anyway.
But with the hat on, correct me if I'm wrong, but guys, tell me, with the hat on, is it or is it not true that Danny now looks like Bryan Cranston?
It's because of the goatee, maybe.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
he's
Say
I
my
am the
name.
one who knocks. So come on.
All right. Well, now I got to shave. I'll be right back.
Actually, you need the hat that he wore in Breaking Bad.
Well, that's what I was thinking of. Is I saw
Yeah.
an ad for Breaking Bad today, and then I didn't see him like that. He looks like, I've never watched Breaking Bad. I've heard it's a really good show, but
Oh, it's an amazing show.
all right. So we'll start out with the usual thing we start out with, and so Danny,
Yeah, my
Give
hot
us
take.
give us your hot take.
I killed my favorite character. I was so mad. I literally texted Brian from Popcast. I was like, why did they have to kill my favorite character? He's like, but is he really dead? And I was like, fuck you, man, because he's seen them all. But I think he's dead. Because then I was watching their show earlier today, and they were like, well, we were theorizing about how he could come back. And I was like, oh, cool. So you just spoiled for me that he's dead. Okay, so he's really dead. Yeah, that's good.
Bird with the dig.
I don't even know who
Shelby's his favorite character.
Oh, yeah. From no,
The Admiral.
Shaw, man, Shaw. That was in his last words were 7 of 9, so that was cool, I guess. But I mean, I'm stoked that I actually got a prediction right. I knew it was the effing Borg. I like how they did it. It's unfortunate that seasons 1 and 2 dealt so much with the Borg. Kind of feels like a retcon with Jaborgi, but I also don't care. I thought it was cool that they used the voice of Alice Krieg, the original Borg Queen from First Contact in the final episode of Voyager. But apparently, because I did ask Brian about this as well, apparently they could only afford her voice. They couldn't afford her. That's why you never saw her face.
Oh, really? They couldn't pay for her. Oh, wow.
So they all they could afford with their budget, their meager budget, was her voice acting skills. So because that was her voice, that was her. Oh my God. And then I don't care what anybody says. So I was like, it's such a roller coaster, this episode. They kill Shaw, but then they give me one of the best lines in Star Trek ever. I just now realized while here with all of you what I missed most: the carpet, which I thought was hilarious. I thought that was good. But man, who didn't? Because some troll put out there a spoiler where they mocked up something where it was the Enterprise E flying out. Because even Kadish retweeted it. And I was like, why would you do this? And then when it ended up being Enterprise, when it was actually Enterprise D, I was just like, well played, sir. Well played. So that's my hot take. I'm pissed they killed Shaw. I'm stoked about Enterprise D. It was just fan service out the wazoo. I already watched it 3 times. it was better than that. The last 5 minutes is better than sex, man. I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah, there you go. It's my hot take.
All right. Well, Jason.
This episode is feeling like how I was getting, but even worse. Like with Star Wars yesterday. This was a otherwise very
and LDG with a $5. Thank you so much, LD. Says Danny, let me be your angel. 7 revived Neelix like 18 hours after death.
Well, if I infer what was said earlier by the Popcast guys correctly, it ain't happening in the next episode. So
I think he's just
he's a goner, man. It sucks because apparently there's an interview coming out soon where they asked Terry point blank, if you'd have known how popular Shaw was going to become, would you have killed him? But we got to wait a week for that interview.
No, to see the answer.
Yeah. So yeah,
the regret will be strong with that one.
I know, right?
Oh, yeah. So yeah, this is my bipolar episode. So prepare for a 2 score at the end of this one. This episode drove me nuts in all the good and bad ways.
Yeah, that's exactly what you messaged me this morning.
Yeah, big time. Like, oh yeah, it's just like, it. First off, if the absolute hot take that I can boil it down to in one shot, everything that I've been saying about this being one giant last hurrah love letter, long kiss goodnight. This is it.
Mm-hmm.
This whole season is that. And they're trying their damnedest to check off all of the super fan boxes, but not put enough effort, as far as I'm concerned, into pacing and story writing. Like, there's just stuff that's like you're just janking me around at the same time as stuff that's making me happy too. So
I'm going to be interested. So while I was at the Salty Nerd Studio, just casual conversation because we're friends and nerds. I had to ask. I was like, so what? It was Kadish. I was like, so what'd you think of Picard? Because he's been loving it, right? And he was like, this is the episode that broke me. Fuck it. And he was just like, he started talking about it. He's like, the structure and this and that. And I'm like, whoa, dude. He's like, yeah, I'll talk about it on Saturday. And I was like, well, I'm gonna tune in because he's been shilling for it and this is my favorite episode so far. That's what blew me away. And when I told him that, he's like, yeah, that's what a lot of people have been saying. They just don't know any better. I was like, oh, okay, wow.
Well, what's funny is it is actually one of my top 2 episodes of the season, but it's also somehow or another one of the worst episodes. It sounds really dichotomous, I know, because it's the whole thing. Well, it's like
you've been reading a lot of Nietzsche's dialectical process lately.
It's this whole business. Like yesterday, it's like, why did we have 45 minutes of freaking Lieutenant Biscuits? Why did we spend 3 episodes worth of filler content here and there in this season? Tight makes for a sharp delivery, and this season should have only been 7 or 8 episodes. It's driving me nuts.
If that.
Oh my God. All
and
right.
so,
well,
Mom, you got more? Do you want
9 out of 10? Oh,
Mom, I love you, but I don't think they're going to agree with you. And but I'm going to say right now,
Daniel,
no, that's going to be my score because if Shaw had not died, I'd have given this a 10. But they killed my boy Shaw, so I was like, I can't give you that.
Even
10.
my high side score I plan to give later isn't a 9.
So you good then?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. So you say Kadish said that this episode broke him. You mean like because of the bad writing and stuff?
He said the word I remember most that stuck out in my mind is structure. But he said he'd go into it more on Saturday, and I was like, yeah, that's fair.
I may, if I have a chance, I may have to watch some of that one because it's like this show. It just makes me want to punch things. It makes me want to just break things and rip things to pieces and just scream murder from the top of the mountain, because like a perfect
Should
example.
should I loan you my blanket? That warm blanket. It's been like. Should I loan it to you? Maybe you'll feel better.
I have a
'cause
warm blanket here, but the Pring's wrapped up in it. So
He
No,
needs
but
like an electric warm blanket too.
I'm
I
talking
need more
about
than
a
that. I
warm
need, like-
blanket of PNG.
I need
feels.
someone to
That's what
pour
I-
hot lava over my head at this point. No, it's the but no, like something Bird of Prey 5 mentioned, and in the chat a couple of minutes ago, and this is exactly why the writers really are pissing me off, is because they don't seem to care about their own characters. Because when you think about Shaw and you think about when they killed him, I'm not, like I understand. Okay, Shaw was my favorite character as well. I was upset that they killed him, but I understand. But just like I really liked, and I can never remember his name. Is it Paz? The Mandalorian is the
Yes. Yeah.
Paz Vizsla.
yeah
Paz Vizsla.
Paz. When they killed him, I didn't want him to die either. But if you give a character an epic death scene, then that's.
But his
That's
wasn't.
something-
Shaw's wasn't really epic. I mean,
No, it
really,
wasn't.
No.
It was
It
kind of
was not
tugged
epic
at
like
the
Paz's was.
heartstrings. With
Like
the whole,
Paz had an epic death. I mean, like he
Yeah.
burnt and melted his gun, and then went charging into battle and
killed
like,
people with his bare hands, and then it took
Right.
3 MFers
Right.
to.
That's how you have somebody go out in battle. With him, he just said, "Oh yeah, you guys go," and then his final line was completely out of character. If
Say
you
hi,
think
baby.
about Shaw,
Say
and
hi.
hey, how you doing, Miss
Hi.
Cece?
Come here.
Hello.
I said, hola.
Hello.
Hola,
Bonjour.
señorita.
We'll go with 3 different languages on the podcast.
Yeah. Right.
So if you think about Shaw and everything his character
Well, that's fine.
represented,
I'll be done in 2
wait
hours.
for
I'll be
Danny
done.
to
I'll be
stop
done in 2
staring-
hours.
staring at this lady.
Yeah, like 2 hours.
Right.
No, she's going out, and she's just.
I
listening.
understand. I understand.
My bad.
Okay,
I'll
so
mute
if you
next
think
time.
about Shaw, his character, everything he stood for throughout the series, I think his death would have been just that much more impactful if he had said, "The con is yours now, Commander Hansen."
Instead of
not-
7 of 9.
Absolutely.
Why? Because
he-
that's what got me when he said 7 of 9. I was
he
like,
said right, and he was admitting that he was wrong, and he would never do that because he wasn't. He was absolutely in the right to call her Commander Hansen.
Yeah,
and
but
to
like-
insist
like,
that she
w-
go by
here-
Commander Hansen. And then
would you
wait,
rather
wait,
be
let me
right?
finish.
okay, sorry.
Then here's what you do next, and I suggested this as far as this is how you write a character scene and to show the impact of the death. Is that so? Then you have Picard say, "Okay, 7, come on, we have to get going," and she goes, "Call me Commander Hansen." So it resonates with her
Mm.
that he wasn't saying it to be a jerk. He was saying that because that's who she is. She's
So-
not a Borg drone.
So hold up. Let
He's
me
a human
let
being.
me see if I'm because the picture you just painted in my head may not be what you're describing. So when he's laying down and he's dying and he's like, the ship is your or whatever he says about the con is
yeah,
yours.
it's no longer mine. It's yours.
Yeah, the con is yours. 7 of 9. You're saying like he should have been like Commander Hansen, and then she grabs his hand and pulls it up to her chest and it's like Commander Hansen. Is that what you're going for? Something like that?
Well, what I'm saying is that then when the rest of the crew is saying 7, it's time to go, she corrects them and says, "Call me Commander Hansen."
Oh, after he
Because-
dies or before he dies, though?
After he dies, because that now him saying that, those being his last words, she realizes that he wasn't calling her Commander Hansen as an insult. He was calling her that because that's who she is.
Super chat.
And Thomas says, "Weird, you guys were complaining 7 didn't blow up Shaw in the turbo lift, but now you're mad."
I
he-
wasn't. No, they were. I wasn't.
Well, that's
Clarify.
another thing. Well, you see, Thomas, when we were complaining about that, and thank you so much for the $5. But when we were complaining about that, the
I'm gonna
point
get that.
of the complaint was the characters behaving in an illogical, stupid, or out of character way.
Yeah, it wasn't that they didn't do it. It was that the
7
scene
was-
was
yeah.
scene was written dumb.
Yeah.
No,
So-
yeah. As a like, look, it's the Kobayashi Maru. It's that whole. Remember that episode where Troy was doing the commander test so she could find.
Oh yeah, in season
Yeah.
5 or yeah.
And she kept refusing to like make orders that was going to kill someone, and then finally she orders Geordi to his death to save the ship, because that's what a Starfleet commander has to do, and that was the point of the test. Like I was thinking of that. Like I'm glad, like because like I said last week, I mean, if they were going to kill Shaw, they should have blown up the goddamn turbo lift. Sorry, GD. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry. But like, I didn't want Shaw to die, so that's why I was defending that decision. Hindsight being 2020, I probably need to take half a point, or at least maybe even a whole point away from last week's episode, because why didn't you just kill him at the damn turbo lift?
Right.
You know? Like,
now, but then other stupid things that happen in this episode, right? Like Picard, they figure out that, oh, what do we got to do? I know, we got to get down to the lower decks and get to the maintenance shuttle. Great. Let me get on the intercom and tell everybody on the ship where we're going.
Did he though?
That's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
They went back into the lift, and then he goes, "All right, everybody go down into the basement now.
Get down to the maintenance bay."
Yeah. But he just told all the changelings that too.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably why they showed up and they had that fight that ended up getting. So
exactly.
Picard got Shaw killed. Mother effer.
Yeah. It's not Shaw's fault. It's Picard's fault.
Yeah.
It is.
The Picard maneuver is another thing altogether now.
Here's all I'm going to say.
Oh, and that's actually Gorilla points out too.
Picard better die next week.
I don't think he's going to. I don't think
no. If you kill Shaw and you don't kill Picard, they're going to lose me. They're going to lose me.
I don't think they have the balls to kill Picard again. But Gorilla points out this is another thing that was out of character. Every time someone calls Data something he's not, Data corrects him and says, "I'm an android." He's done that 1,700 times in TNG.
Well, but now he's a different person. I actually like the sarcastic look he gave. I thought that was because that's the new Data.
I don't like.
He uses contractions. He's got humor. I actually love what they've done with Data. And
the only thing I liked about New Data was, "Well, I hope we die quickly." I thought that was a
great line.
That's why I made it the thumbnail. That was my and that's why I made sure. Did you notice it took me no. Data's face in my screenshot. It took me like 5 tries to get that exact. I wanted
to line it up
where he was like, no, well, not just that, but where he's like, he's smiling. He's like, because Geordi's like, can't you be more positive? And he's like, I hope we die quickly. You know, and he has got like this shit-eating, smirky grin on his face when he says it. Yeah,
that was
if you didn't notice, do me a favor, go look at the thumbnail, because
I like
it. It was really good. I liked it. Yeah.
I also, I think that Worf had a good scene when he was on the bridge of the Enterprise D and talking about how he liked the Enterprise E more.
And then Troy made him apologize real quick to Troy.
Yeah, I like that, because that's something, Worf is he's a tactical guy, and he'd be thinking, the Enterprise E is a better
he starts listing off all the way better weapons he had.
Well, our weapons are very limited.
And then another thing, though, that I've heard Bird mention this, and others have talked about this. Why the heck does the Starfleet Museum have matter antimatter warheads on it to load up onto the Enterprise D?
Well, we don't know that they actually have torpedoes. Maybe they just got phasers.
No. Geordi literally said, I have droids or drones.
Drones
like
loading torpedoes, right?
Oh, I didn't catch that.
He said that it was right after Worf was waxing poetic about Enterprise E.
Geordi told him he's got drones.
And Geordi's like, well, he literally says it to Worf. He's like, Worf, I have drones loading torpedoes now.
See, and this is where Kadish will probably go off on Saturday. So there's something there
shouldn't have that.
Okay, you know what, Danny? What we should do is, if you're going to watch it, you and me. Well, if all 3 of us, but if you want to get together and we can do the setup with Stream Elements, we can do that, and then we can also listen to Kadish together and roar.
I would love to do that, because Mike and I are going to be on.
And I should be sleeping. Left a $3.33 tip. Thank you. And says the carpet was not credited. Funny you should mention that, because I did say that I think when he was talking about the carpets, he was actually making a comment about Dr. Crusher. But the Thomas.
Oh, and you guys give me. Oh, you.
And Thomas. With a $5 super chat. So what happened to the museum? What happens if the museum is attacked? Probably has weapons to defend itself. I would assume that the museum, since it's the original Starbase 1, has phaser banks on it.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question, please?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. And it could just be the fanboy in me, which clearly I think I'm more of than you guys. Not like saying like bona fides. I just because I'm a sucker for. I'm a sucker for all the Roddenberrys. But how bitchin' would it have been if somehow Geordi was like, okay, I got he reveals the Enterprise D, right? But then he's like, now you go to Voyager, you go to the Farragut, you go to this, and they use like as many ships as they can with however many people they have to like have a mini fleet of archaic
see, you know what?
That would have been awesome.
The 5-year-old in me, the 5-year-old in me absolutely loves that idea. Yeah. But that right there is something to a certain extent that is an issue throughout this episode, is what Kadish is going to go on about, and that's too much and not enough and not enough because of this. This happened.
I bet you're right, man, because he was like. I was trying to rethink like on the way home after hanging out with him, like what was structurally wrong? Like, so like, you know, what's great about Kadish is because, he's a published novelist. He's directed a movie. He used to work in Hollywood. He's got a different point of view than I have as just a consumer. I'm just a pure consumer of the stuff. Yeah. And he's both. And I swear, man, and I give him credit for this every time he and I do a show together. I learned something from that dude every time. And when I was making that comment to him today, he was like, "No, it's okay for you to like what you like. I'm not trying to make you not like it." I was like, "No. I'm not saying I love it. You're not ever going to change that. But I'm going to learn why my peon brain should not have, and I appreciate that." You know what I mean? Like,
well, what happens is when you learn how a story should roll and flow in its more ideal conditions, then when you find something that does work that way, then it sinks in even harder.
Hey, man, I don't want to give you shit, but really, from yesterday to today, you couldn't shave. I even shaved again today.
Today.
Do you notice?
I got looked at earlier today. Believe me, I got the
dude. Just
yeah, I know. I got.
Hey, man, you know what? I'm gonna see how long she lets me get that, because she's like loves the goatee. All of a sudden, I'm gonna see how long she'll let me get it before. You know what I mean? It's like I'm gonna let that chick keep growing. I'll shave this every day.
Thomas asked the question, speaking of credits, why are most of the TNG cast listed as guest stars? Riker's been in almost every episode. Actually, that's a simple matter of pay scale.
Yeah. That's an agent negotiating money.
If you're listed as a guest, if you're listed as a guest star, you actually make more money than if you're listed as a regular cast member.
Yeah, that's a SAG-AFTRA thing. So
now the reason that Patrick Stewart is only listed as a regular actor is because he's also listed as an executive producer.
He's an executive producer.
He's getting a double paycheck.
Yeah.
So there's England DG saying buy a one blade, dude.
Hey, you know what? I don't know what that means, but Gorilla's random thoughts. F you. Call her now. Call her now.
She's out with her friends, so I'm not going to bother.
I'll put money on it. Call her now. No, because I would not. Are you kidding me? I would not have shaved this 2 days in a row and still have this if she said
CC, no. Yeah, exactly.
If it wasn't CC approved.
Yeah,
because I hate shaving, man. I hate shaving. To get me to do this 2 days in a row.
I mean, this is my wife's style right here.
I also got, had to thank her for last night, so there was that. But
dude, TMI.
oh wow, really? You can say that weird shit about the carpet, but I can't talk about my beautiful love.
I wasn't describing Picard's intimate actions with Dr.
Well, you kind of were. You kind of were. I mean,
It's the well, you know, it's crafty stylization is what you got to slip in.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. You know, like the old ad. You know, it was a good morning today.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we had breakfast. See, things like that. But no, yeah, you got to be clever about it.
So are we gonna start rolling through here?
Yeah,
Or?
let's start talking about the actual episode, or
Yeah.
the abomination,
my God.
The crapping on the corpse that is Star Trek, as I like to call it.
What the f, dude?
All right, so we start out with the red vines in the corridor that we've seen in like
Link?
half the episodes.
Oh, hold up.
Huh?
No, somebody in my chat, I think, wants the link to yours to join us. There you go. Go ahead.
Okay.
Ignore me. Sorry.
All right. And of course, he's sitting there looking at the vines and, you know, trying to figure out what's going on. And Troy is like promising that, don't worry, you're in a yes.
No, finish that statement, because what I'm going to say piggybacks off of that.
Okay, so Troy's about to say, don't worry, it's a safe place. I'm here. I'm not going to go anywhere. No matter what, I'm here.
Okay. And then what the F does this, the shittiest counselor, oh man, I'm trying not
Yes,
to.
yes,
The crappiest
okay.
counselor
I'm
on
giving you
earth.
permission to call her that because
Yeah, the shittiest counselor on earth, as soon as she opens the door and leaves and like totally betrays all the trust. Like, I was actually pissed at this scene. I'm not gonna lie.
I am too, because that she is not only is she a licensed therapist and a ship's counselor and everything, but she's
a beta set. You know,
but she's been doing this for longer than most of us have been alive, right? She is a well-seasoned, experienced therapist, and she's been through massive trauma herself. She knows how to deal with these types of situations.
Apparently not anymore. Because that was the worst possible way to deal. Like, she basically turned him into the villain.
There's the look right there.
Yeah.
For her to like, oh crap, that's what's in your brain. I'm out.
You know, like, she's got a terrible poker face. Like, I want to play poker with her. That was terrible.
You win all the monies.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Jason Price tipped $1. Thank you, Jason.
Super tip.
So, did you know you tipped $1, Jason?
Apparently, that's an interesting trick.
Yeah. Says I can't believe.
Your last name is Price?
Yeah.
As in, the price is right.
The price is wrong, biatch. You need to send me your number, bro. Anyway.
Okay, so Jason says, I can't believe everything was revealed at the beginning of this episode. There's no longer any suspense. It should have dragged out a little more.
Hey, does your throat hurt, Jason?
No.
Then why didn't you just say that for free? You're on the stream.
That's not me.
That
was either Yosef or it was Thomas.
Oh, okay. Well, they fooled my dumb ass, but that's not.
Usually, I can tell for sure when it's Thomas, but yeah, it was either
Thomas kind of flair to it. I think.
Yeah, it does. But with Yosef in the house, it's
true. Yosef does like to throw the shade every now and then.
Yeah.
And yes, you're right, Stanley. That Guinan was a far better counselor than Troy ever was, and
apparently so, because Guinan would have never done this. And
no,
not. It's sad how far. What?
Yes, indeed. You could be on the panel too if you're willing to pay. It's true. I'm selling seats.
Well, I mean, hey, I've given Salty at least $100 in super chats over the last year I've known him. I gave him 50 at one time, so I still owe him. Don't get me wrong, for all my cursing, I still owe him way more.
Yeah, that jar I'm assuming is still pretty full with IOUs, is it?
Oh yeah, a lot of IOUs in that jar.
I need you to talk to Cece about this damn Tennessee promotion. I'm telling you, man, because there's no casinos there, right?
Here,
There'd be way less. There'd be way less than what's in.
you would have
Vegas.
to, yeah, you would have to drive a little ways. There's a couple.
Okay, no, that's perfect. If it's more than 5 minutes away, I'll lose interest. So
Yeah, you would have to drive up into Kentucky.
yeah. So yeah, call her, light a fire under her ass, because our lease is up in like 3 or 4 months, and I'm
not going to light a fire under her
and then move again.
That would be impolite.
I don't want to. well, you know what? Figuratively speaking, you know.
Yeah. You guys got to do it.
Yeah,
Do it.
I don't want to move twice. Yeah.
Anyway, let's get back to.
But I'm going to tell you right now, if I do move out there, and if you're halfway serious, I want something at least half as nice. I got to show you. I took photos of all, like when I was at their studio today. Their studio is tits, dude. It is really nice. Like they've got.
Yeah, I watched their studio tour. It was pretty good.
I didn't even see that. They did a studio tour.
Yeah, they did a live stream tour of it. Yeah.
Oh, no,
I actually have a space where I could build a studio. I just don't have the money to do it. But
well, they got investors. That's what I'm saying. Like Kadish and I have known each other for like 8-9 years. I'll pick his brain. I'll figure it out. Yeah. It's just like right now I'm such a degenerate piece of what.
Right. You need to stop being a degenerate.
I know. And look, man, I'm not like, I'll accept responsibility for my actions, but do you know how hard it is to live in a 24/7 alcohol gambling?
That's why I told you.
Time to go.
I told you to get out of that.
Yeah. Time to go. Come
That's
east,
man. My mom calls it Gomorrah. Yeah, she says I live in Gomorrah. What does that even mean? I don't even know what that means. But
one of the two cities that were destroyed from existence.
A city so bad that God vaporized it.
Well, there you go. That makes sense.
Yeah. And to make it even more ouchy, it's actually documented as having existed, and yet nobody can find it.
Yeah. Because it was vaporized.
So that's not a good feature.
You kind of like Tavine last week. That was
exactly.
Yes. One of two places that God actually nuked. So, yeah.
Well, the other one is Sodom, and the only reason I know that is because that's where sodomy comes from.
Exactly.
Still illegal, which is still illegal in most states in the country, by the way. Technically.
Are you sure? I think
there's all kinds of weird laws.
Look it up, dude.
Most sodomy laws, I think, are gone at this point.
Okay.
I think we're going off into a weird.
Oh yeah, well, did we ever go down? Stay on target.
Back to the worst counselor in Star Trek history.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of Counselor Troy, sodomy laws are. So she immediately jumps out of her chair. And it's like, nope, can't deal with it. And so then runs to Picard to tell him what she saw. Which now,
first of all, that's a violation of patient-doctor confidentiality.
Right there.
Yeah, and then
worst counselor in history. Like this whole beginning scene made me so mad. You have no idea.
Well,
and then you see you're about to get to it, and then you see the parents talking about trying to figure out, thinking it is parents, and then Picard's like, "Hey, I'm going to do this," and then Troy's like, we got to lock him up. I'm like,
funny thing, when Troy started saying that there are protocols, I was like, oh crap! Don't tell me people were right that she's in charge of Section 31.
So
that would be funny.
Hold, please. I looked it up. This is true. There are still 11 states in the United States where sodomy is illegal. Okay, you're right. But they are, just so you know, Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, a lot of M states, North Carolina, Oklahoma, and South Carolina. If you live in any of those states and you're gay, you're automatically breaking the law.
Well, sodomy laws isn't just about being gay, though.
No. And I was about to say, and if you're a freak and you like to do that to your girl, it's illegal in those 11 states.
Well, it's not even just that. It's also if you like oral gratification is sodomy as well.
What? Ass to mouth?
Yeah.
That's gross. Who the hell does that?
No. Oh, anything other than super trad is actually technically sodomy.
Yeah. If you're doing anything other than standard genital to genital penetration, that's sodomy.
No, according to Wikipedia and the sodomy laws,
Wikipedia, it's not
specific. All right, you know what?
Chat
Never mind.
GPT.
All right,
Chat GPT.
You know what? I'll ask Chat GPT since you brought it up. I'm just
All
kidding.
right,
I don't want that in my history. I don't want that.
No, I want to know.
No.
Chat GPT thinks sodomy means.
You ask it because I'm not gonna because it stores all your stuff and like I'm not.
You know what's funny is if Cadence was listening to this, he'd say the writing of this episode is sodomy.
He
Probably.
would.
All right, so hey, the random menace says back on topic. Come on.
Yeah, I know. We're drifting left and right here.
Oh, so she opens the door. She sees the board.
No good, I can't maneuver.
Stay on target.
We're too close.
Stay on target.
There we go. All right, back to it.
No, what? That wasn't at you. I think he was just playing it late, Danny.
Oh, okay. I was like, so,
No.
So I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Because a friend of mine and I were talking about this this morning. So, because I was arguing the Borg because the vines were like the connection between the Borg.
Yes.
The fact that he turned into Jason Bourne is like, he's accessing the collective for somebody who knows how to do that stuff. And so their big thing was, why is everything red? Why are his eyes red? Why does the door glow red? Why are the vines red? It should be green. If you're right and it's the Borg, it should be green. So here, so two things to that. One, the transwarp conduits glow in red, which you can pause on later. Two, they made it a point to show Picard when they were doing the cuts between this episode and First Contact, and he opens the door to go talk to the Queen. It opens up and there's a big red glow on his face. So I'm like, those two things, like, I don't know which it is. Maybe I'm reaching for straws. Those two things, because my buddy I was talking to earlier was like, no, it's a 12 Monkeys thing. It's like blah, 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 blah. And I haven't seen 12 Monkeys, so I don't even know what that means. So anybody in the chat who knows,
It's because
No, but I think Cersei nails it though. Green
Green would have
monster giveaway.
Yeah.
So
But does red really make it like
and yes, Bert, he did say, why are his
inconceivable?
eyes
Does it
red?
really
Yeah.
make it inconceivable that it could be the Borg just because it was red? Because I
think that I think that it's one of those things where they put aside what was logical in favor of trying not to make it too obvious, because it should have been green, but had it been green, everybody would have figured it out. But everybody figured it out anyway.
Everybody figured it out anyway. So I feel like it should have been green,
And
and it also, believe it or not, this also goes back to Thomas giving me a hard time the other week about me wanting all the secrets revealed immediately. I was like, no, but this one was so unnecessarily telegraphed.
right.
And there was,
I feel like they felt the need to hide it because seasons 1 and 2, which were absolute dog shit, and Terry Metalis, like, he had nothing to do with it, and he just had to deal with what was given before him. I feel like that's why they didn't go. Like, if there were no Borg in the first 2 seasons, I think it would have been green. What do you think?
No, I think that, but the problem is this is the same MO as season 1 and 2. One of the problems with season 1 and 2, and a lot of people complained, including myself, about season 1 and 2, was all the bait and switch crap. Was the fact that we spent so much time doing stuff
Can you
that we
remove
didn't
that
care
comment?
about in order to get just a couple of episodes of what we really wanted. And here
Well,
we're doing
hold
on. We're doing the exact same thing where we had 8 episodes on a 10-episode season about a villain who is ultimately completely and utterly meaningless and ended up shattering on the front of her own ship. She is, she was completely pointless to the story. She was just a pawn in this whole thing. And the only reason she was around for 8 episodes was so they could drag out the reveal of the
Are you
Borg.
done talking yet? I'm sorry.
I'm just saying this reveal should be the beginning of episode 3, not the beginning of episode 9. And if it was the beginning of episode 3 and it was green, it wouldn't be a big deal.
Late. I forgot to put this out to all my peeps. So
Shame on
I'll
you.
tag you guys. You never freaking retweet or like it anyway, but
I do
tag
too.
you. Okay.
When you do it before the show actually starts.
Well, I mean, I had a prior engagement. If I don't show up for your stream tomorrow, worry, because I swear to God, if they tell me I have cancer, I'm gonna like do a bucket list item that might kill me.
No,
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 don't,
Seriously.
Don't do
I'm
something
just,
stupid.
no, I'm not saying I'm going to kill myself. I'm just saying I'm going to do if they tell me I have cancer tomorrow, I'm going to do something crazy.
No.
If I make it, I'll be here for
That's
tomorrow.
the dumb
If not,
thing. You see, that's the stupid thing to do because you know what? First of all, most cancers are very treatable. You know, I'm a cancer survivor, right?
I mean, technically, I am. I had melanoma on my back. That doesn't like
All right,
you
okay.
like qualify
most
cancer, bro.
Most cancer is very treatable and everything, so you don't have to say, "Oh my God, I have cancer. I'm going to go."
I don't even
bungee
know if
jump."
I have it yet. I don't know. I'm just saying if
Right.
you will
Yeah.
100. You
But I
will
don't want you doing something
100%.
stupid just because you do something you
It's
find
not
out
stupid.
that you
like,
have to. Yeah,
I've always wanted to skydive. I've always wanted to go
Yeah,
on
that
a
would
hot
be
air
stupid.
balloon. I've always wanted to fly on a helicopter. The reason I don't is the same reason I don't go into the ocean. I can't get eaten by a shark if I don't go into their homeland. You know what I mean?
yeah. Good idea not to do that.
Well, you start small, go shoot a 50 cal over there at whatchamacallit place.
Oh yeah. Oh, on the strip, the gun range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard that the daka is intoxicating.
I don't know. I'm really, I don't know. Anyway, I'm sorry I brought that up.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the show. Yeah.
And whatever you do, don't hit the bars. Because I will kill you if you do that.
Oh well, no.
So that would be
Cece,
counterproductive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. Cece's taking me to the appointment, and she won't.
Right.
There's no way in the world.
You won't
she'd
leave
take
me alone.
me.
That's good.
And have a good one, Joseph.
Yeah.
I know it's really late for you, buddy.
Oh wow, yeah, 2:00. Have a
Oh,
good one.
Oh God.
And-
Well, thanks for stopping by, bud.
And you're right, Thomas. You can get a Sharknado while you're on dry land. That is true.
Oh yeah.
So you got to watch out for the Sharknadoes, man, because they will mess you up.
You know
All
what's
right, so
funny
anyway,
is I
so-
haven't watched any of those Sharknado movies. There's like 6 of them
Oh,
now?
dude, they're awesome. They are
they?
so freaking.
They're so
awesome.
schlock.
Maybe
Yeah.
we'll have to do that for a random stream
Yeah.
sometime. Start.
So Picard is like, "Oh crap, it's the Borg," and Troy's like, "Yep, and yeah, we're gonna lock up your kid because I'm Section 31, but I can't tell anybody." And Crusher's like, "How could I have missed this?" And the answer is because you're incompetent.
You know what's dumb?
Ouch. I would have said
I-
because she's a mother blinded by her love and it was too close.
No, the answer is
to the
because
situation.
she's an incompetent. Troy is an incompetent therapist, and Crusher is an incompetent doctor.
So I only agree
how-
with half of that statement, but that's
Oh
okay.
no, I think first of all, they're acting like, "Oh well, we couldn't detect this 35 years ago." You're telling me that in the 24th century, and I can prove that's demonstrably false, by the way.
Well,
because
first of all, no, it's even worse. Not only that, okay, they misdiagnosed it 30 years ago, and
Yeah.
she misdiagnoses it in her son now. What's even worse is Q, the omnipotent Q. Lest
Well,
we
he's
forget,
not.
he's the. All right. Well, he was the one who was like, yes, it's aromatic syndrome, and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, and that was effing Q. It's like that
Right.
to me. That was kind of a. I wish
Well,
they'd have had
and-
a line of dialogue for that one. You know. what I
And
mean?
how about the fact that it's not just
Tweets
Crusher
out. I
that
tagged you
sucks.
both. Please like and
Yeah,
retweet.
I already
That's what I'm
retweeted
doing.
it, so
Good
shut up.
job. Good.
The other thing is you got to keep in mind is Starfleet Medical sucks too, because wouldn't you? Well, let's be honest. Wouldn't you monitor the crap out of Picard? He's the only person that's ever been deborged at that point. And
well,
then
you
how
heard their
about-
voices?
No,
but
you
how
know what?
about between both Starfleet Medical and Crusher after first contact? Wouldn't you be like, wait a minute, how can you hear the Borg still?
We need to hold up because I have a point to that, but I want to. Hey, can any of you guys figure this out? You see, Jason, look at me. Look. You see this? How
Yeah.
can we make it to where if I go this far up, my finger points at his face? Is that possible? Because that's what I was trying to do. That would be
that
dope.
would be
I mean, like
So
that.
Because here's the thing. No, that doesn't help. No, I want to.
No, move 'em back down. Move 'em back
Yeah,
down.
anyway, yeah, you can move.
Oh,
it
hold
back
on. Try it now. Try it again, Danny.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Oh, you did. Oh, you got me. You got me. Oh, that was good. Dude, that was good. That was good. Oh, that was good. That was
Is
good.
that
I love it.
sweet?
That was God. You fooled me. I thought you figured it out. That was so funny. I forgot what I was going to say. Go ahead, Jason. Oh,
So you've got this whole business with him hearing the Borg at 001,
now
and
remember,
yet nobody follows up on that.
I appreciated this. This was the first time we ever actually found out why Picard could still hear their voices. In first
Now,
contact.
I did like that
Yeah.
they found a way to plug the hole,
Yeah.
but the funny thing is at the same time
It
as
creates
plugging the
new
hole, it creates it actually paints incompetence across a whole rainbow spectrum of people.
Yes, but I've always wondered for the last, I don't know, 20 years or plus, whatever, if he's not a Borg anymore, how's he still hear him? And they never ever address that until this morning.
And
you know?
LDD 7. You're right. 7 of 9 hears them too, but 7 of 9 still has her implants.
She still has her implants. They
and she
couldn't.
does still
multiple
have
implants.
nanoprobes. So they
Yeah.
understand why she could be hearing them.
Yeah.
But with Picard, they thought they got everything out of him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the thing is, and this is
And
where,
what was left, they thought was aromatic. Is that even a real illness? Because I can't even see
no,
it
that's
right.
that's something they made up.
Okay.
But
Yeah, it's for the show. Yeah.
yeah, but the stupid thing is that then they were saying, oh wow, somehow it was rewriting his DNA. There's no way it could have done that. But go back and rewatch Best of Both Worlds, where Dr. Crusher herself says that it's rewriting his DNA.
Yeah, no, dude, did you see Major Grin's video a few days ago?
No, why did?
Oh my God. Okay, let me find it. Like, will we get copyright struck if we watch it together? We shouldn't, right?
We might, but depends on
No,
How
it
would
was
we-
so good because it talks about what you just said.
Well, his videos are pretty short, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind the shout out anyways.
Yeah,
and we're making
no, it's only
attribution.
it's like a 2-minute or less video. Yeah, I gotta
Yeah.
find it real quick. It was
but he
so
puts long clips in there.
funny.
He doesn't generally monetize, but yeah.
All right, hold up. Here, hold up. All right. How do I share this? Present, not share. Hold up. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my. Okay, I lied. This is one of his longer ones. It's 4 minutes.
Oh.
So I'll
Yeah,
skip
that's
ahead a
kinda-
little bit. Yeah, I'll skip ahead.
Yeah,
a little
get
bit,
to get to the meaty bit.
All right, but I'm gonna go ahead and share it. It's called All the Clues for Who the Main Villain in Star Trek Season 3 Really Is. And he released this 3 days ago, and he was spot on. You're not sharing it.
His DNA is being rewritten.
Why do they want Jack?
Can you guys hear it?
Yeah. She just said his DNA is being rewritten.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then they're going to cut.
Somehow has something to do with you. I'm picking up increased neural activity. in
I love
Captain
Major
Picard,
Grin. He's so good at
localized in
these
the prefrontal
videos.
and parietal lobes.
It is not Picard's body they wanted, but what it contained.
They removed portions of his parietal lobe.
Localized in the prefrontal and
Parietal
parietal
lobe.
lobes.
Portions of his parietal lobe. Sections that were infected with the aromatic syndrome.
Why the hell would they want that?
Extraction. Soong research indicates an anomalous form inside Jean-Luc Picard. Previous diagnosis of aromatic syndrome is in question. What is causing the increased neural activity is
All right, you're
unclear.
playing a lot.
I'd
so
like-
I don't-
Yeah.
No, yeah, well, I can pause. Well, yeah, there's only 3 minutes left, but it's okay. I'll put
Only
the
3
link in
minutes. And you have no idea how
I'll
copyright
put the
works.
link. I'll put the link in the chat. It's
Yeah.
But the important thing is that, but that's exactly what I was talking about though before,
Yeah.
is that she does say flat out that it's rewriting his DNA.
yeah.
But in this
There you go.
new
I put it in the
episode, she
chat,
says-
guys.
Yeah, but in this episode, she says that couldn't be. So
Yeah, it's like people read the Cole's notes, or I guess for Americans, Cliff Notes.
yeah, the
Cliff's
Cliff
notes.
Uh,
Yeah.
And you know what's actually really funny? As a side note, in England, it's called something else yet again. So it's Cliff Notes in the States, Cole's Notes in Canada, and I forget what it is in the UK, but it's something else. But that's all that they're reading. They're not actually going back and watching the episodes from where they've decided to pull all this stuff.
I mean, that's the only logical.
Well, and the sad thing is, someone like Major Grin can come up with something like that in a matter of a couple of days.
Oh,
right?
There's been times I've seen him after an episode comes out, if it sets him off wrong,
Yeah,
whether it's on his main channel, because his main channel is Nitpicking Nerd, and I've seen him completely spaz on stuff and just go on an absolute tear in no time flat.
I've been subscribed and watching Major Grin probably for years. I didn't know he was Nitpicking Nerd until you guys told me a few weeks ago.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
With his thick Russian accent.
I don't know where he's from, but it's definitely Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
This episode didn't bother me too much, but what did bother me in this episode? Yeah.
Now,
I love his stuff.
And I got to thank
Yeah.
Kadish. Kadish is the one who turned me on to Major Grin years ago. Yeah. You know.
What are you talking about, Alex? We love Major Grin. We love him.
Yeah. Oh no,
What?
he
Alex,
is
yeah,
Alex.
we all are blowing.
No.
What are you talking about? We're all literally blowing Major Grin.
Major Grin / Nitpicking Nerd he runs a pair of some of the most underrated
Even
single person. He does no live streams.
Right.
And all he does is pre-produce content, and that guy is a machine.
And even when he does stuff that makes me mad, it makes me smile.
Oh yeah,
because he's almost always right.
Yeah. Well, you know what I love is even if I disagree with him, I'm still able to laugh at his videos, because there's been some videos. There's gosh, I can't even remember. Time sucks. Kadish introduced me. It's been years. I don't know how many years, but I remember when I first started watching him, even the videos where I was completely in disagreement with him, I still laughed at it was hilarious. I still he's a smart dude. He's got a good wit to him. Oh, you got a super chat.
So in all good things, how do future Picard have advanced aromatic aerosol syndrome that he didn't really have to begin with? Well, they kind of
why did Q say he had it? I mean, it's the same thing, you know.
Right, but what they first of all, it's because inconsistent writing, right? Because when they wrote all good things, the intent was that he had aerosol syndrome. I'm just going to call it that from now on because I love that.
Yeah, that's just stuck for good now.
Yeah. But so he had aerosol syndrome in as far as the writers were concerned, but now they're retconning it to where he didn't.
That is a perfect point. You've got the salty nerds icon just above the banner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just a matter of clunky writing there. It's kind of like, and look, don't get me wrong, it's annoying, but I can get past that. The fact that they kind of retcon the aerosol syndrome to be a byproduct of his assimilation, I'm actually okay with that part of it, because it does fill the plot hole of him hearing voices, even though it does make Beverly Crusher look incompetent. But it does fill that plot hole, and it serves the purpose of the story overall. And it's kind of like, when people argue about the changes to the Gorn from Strange New Worlds, I can deal with that. Yes, it's a retcon, but it's a retcon I can deal with. What I don't like is when they do things like, oh, we haven't heard from the Borg in 10 years when the Borg were in last season.
Yeah, no, that pissed me off. Like when somebody said that, I was like, wait a minute. You've already referenced Picard being positronic. You've referenced other shit from the first, Seven and Raffi being lesbian lovers. You reference all this stuff, but you expect us to forget that Jaborgi was a thing? Come on. At least freaking, if you addressed all that other BS, if you're going to no-sell one thing, no-sell it all. That was another,
Right, yeah, at least be consistent with how you're going to do it.
I think I'm going to give this an 8 now, the more I think about it, because that's a full point demerit. I don't know. We'll see at the end.
All right, so meanwhile, Jack is locked up, and Jean-Luc comes in to tell him the good news that, hey, congratulations, son, you've been assimilated.
Super
And,
chat.
and Terry Tallis also tipped
And
$1.
hold up. There's two.
Yes.
Super tip.
So first of all, Aravic, thank you so much for the $5. So Jolon True just finished the episode. Didn't they try to make peace with the Girardi Borg Queen Borg? Yes, this is apparently the original Borg Queen, not the Girardi Borg Queen. So now, are they going to?
It's hard to say what the original Borg Queen is. This is the Borg Queen from First Contact, and they've gone out of their way to make sure that we know that.
Right.
But the credits
question,
and
the question will be:
interviews.
are they going to explain any of that? Answer: probably not. You know, are they going to deal with the fact that there's at least 2 active Borg Queens, and actually explain it? Probably not. But,
I need some pliers. My mic is getting limpy on me. That's why I have it sideways.
It's a common problem with men your age. There are prescriptions.
Very funny.
As we all get older.
So anyway, Terry Metalis, thank you so much for the $1 tip. Says, I knew I shouldn't have asked ChatGPT to help on this show. It seems to make the wrong choice.
Dude, are you kidding me? I think it was Nerdrotic. I don't want to misspeak. I can't remember what it was. There was a show that I'm subscribed to that I watched where they literally live had ChatGPT write an episode of Mandalorian, and it was better than anything we hit. This was before last night, so it didn't include last night's episode. But it was literally a better story than anything they came out with, which was scary. I'm pretty sure it was Nerdrotic. You just search like Mandalorian ChatGPT, I'm sure it'll come up. But like, I don't know, man. I think some of these woke millennials, Gen Zers that are getting jobs in Hollywood now, writing all this garbage. Super chat.
You might be right. But Thomas with the $4.99 says, just like Palpatine, she survived somehow and was multiple voices in Jack's head. Heck, the cube almost felt like the planet Palpatine was on. Yeah, it kind of did. But unlike Palpatine, you can't say she did nothing wrong. That's a whole different discussion we'll have to have. It'll be interesting to see what happens with some of these other Star Wars shows that are coming, because it sounds like they're going to make it even more that the Empire did nothing wrong with the Acolyte and stuff. So in case you were wondering. So ChatGPT probably could have written this better, I think. But anyway, so Jack is very, very happy about the fact that he is now a Borg. And Professor X says, don't worry, I have a school for gifted youngsters on the planet Vulcan. And I can't believe that this scene actually is happening, where Professor X is trying to get him to go to his school for gifted youngsters on Vulcan. And so, then he uses his...
Hey, man, if you want to make a snarky comment like that, make a meme. Then I'll share it. Until then, you're just lazy.
I'm sorry. Jean-Luc Picard wants to take him to a school for gifted youngsters on Vulcan. And so he decides, nope, and he uses his psychic powers to take over the security guards that apparently weren't there a couple of episodes ago. Because 2 episodes ago, we had to fight the
Birdmen
with civilians.
Didn't Raffi kill them all? Didn't Raffi, the overpowered Mary Sue, kill them all? Didn't Raffi kill them?
Afterward, yeah. But remember, the bait for the trap and everything was the pilot and the civilian, which makes no sense if they actually did have Starfleet security on board.
What is Ozzy talking about? Who's the Acolyte? Did I miss
the
something?
Acolyte? Is a new Star Wars show that's coming. It takes place approximately 100 years before.
I don't care. Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, I don't care. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, you will care when we start watching it.
I thought we were gonna watch Battlestar Galactica. Don't make me watch brand new woke ass.
No,
bullshit that
Acolyte's not out
sucks.
for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you? Geez, dude, you've already decided it's woke. You don't even know anything about it.
It's made by Disney. It's woke.
Wow. so you're
Come on, man. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me like 100 other times. Do I just like abuse? No, I don't.
Govern me harder,
I
Daddy.
think you do actually, because you like this show a lot. So
No, I just like you guys. You know, I was gonna quit, and then you brought Jason on, and I just he's just such a.
no, I said you like
lady,
this
sweet,
show,
just-
Picard show.
Oh no, he got you, but he likes this show.
Thank you.
Whatever.
See, he gets
So
me. That's why
apparently,
I'm
you
so
can just turn off the shuttle transponder because why not? And so then he takes off in hyperspace, apparently, because that's what Star Trek is now. And they're like, what can we do? He took off in a shuttle, and so he asks old man Data to do something, and old man Data can't do anything because, unlike young Data, old Data doesn't know how to do things.
Hold up. You know what? No, shush. Don't move this scene. You know what? Old Data, as you like to you mother. I said don't move.
I didn't. We're still on the scene. Or what you want to look
no.
at?
Oh yeah, that right there. Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
Old Data would not have done this. This was a beautiful moment. So
Yeah, even chipped Data probably wouldn't have done that.
no,
I'm
yeah,
not saying I'm not saying that was bad. What I'm saying was bad.
No, look, like Data's like, is there anything I can say? And Picard's like, no. And then so Data does the most human thing he's ever done. Puts the hand,
I'm not
and then
saying that
that was beautiful to me. That almost made me tear up. You're just talking.
Right. The reason I'm talking crap about it is A, Data's been dead twice, and I'm tired of looking at Data.
Thank you, Sirstus. Can I please? Who do I got to blow to get the ability to click on that to show on screen? Because I can do it on every other show I'm on.
To blow anybody. Thank you.
There you go. Look at that. Thank you. 100% agree, dude. 100%.
So
yeah.
But anyway, the my problem with the scene was not Data touching Picard's shoulder. I thought that was good. My problem with the scene was that Data apparently forgot that you can do things like trace warp signatures and stuff like that, which they've done 1,000,000 times on TNG and other Trek shows. And so even though they could track that shuttle, they just mysteriously can't because he turned off a transponder.
All right. So I need you to do me a favor, guys. I'm an old man. I can tell right now I've got maybe 2 to 6 minutes before I absolutely have to leave to pee. So let's talk about something to where we can get into no, because you saw me. I drank this whole thing of soda.
You got two big gulps hiding in you.
Yeah. So
now again, and
talk me to a piss break. That's all I'm asking.
Right. Well, I'm just saying. So much like Mandalorian, I do want to give credit where credit is due. Visually, some of these shots are just stunning, and this is one of them.
Oh, dude! We haven't got to the Enterprise F scene yet, have we? That was gorgeous when it comes out, and like, no, you didn't like it. I thought that was.
I didn't like the Enterprise F. I thought it was goofy. Anyway, so then he finds the Borg cube in the clouds. Go
a little bit. Do you see how it's weird? They've got like towers and stuff and antennas on the top there.
Yeah,
and then
because
on the left side,
transmit the Borg signal.
Well, look if play and pause it real quick. Then on the left
I know what you're talking about. Up on the top of the cube.
It's not just on the top; it's on the left side too.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's so it can transmit.
Have I seen that before?
No,
this is totally unique to this episode.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
But remember, they also show when the Borg turn on their device and it like cranks up some kind of mega engine inside the cube. So, and then it turns on everybody's assimilation juice and they all turn into Borg.
Oh, first of all, I want to thank each and every single one of you in Salty Nerds chat. There's
Salty Nerds chat.
Oh, no, I meant Salty Trekker. I'm sorry. Well, first of all, I can't thank anybody in my chat because there's nobody there.
Oh,
But
there's a
that's
couple
because
people still there.
it's because
Cersei is actually in there too.
Oh, is he? Oh,
Well, he's
or
he's
she,
doing you
or
the
they,
favor.
them. Thank you.
Yeah.
But guys, there's 20 people in Salty Trekkers, or no, there's 37 people watching, only 20 likes. Give that man some likes. I only have 3 people in mine, and I have 5 likes. So, I mean, percentage wise, I'm doing better.
So,
you know, if you want to like
yeah.
fudge the numbers. You know?
I'm glad
Well,
you feel
help
good
him out.
about yourself. Now, why don't you go pee?
Is this a good time?
Yeah,
Sure.
this is a great
Okay.
time.
All right.
We can talk about you while you're going.
Asshole.
So with you with that paused right there, that just has me thinking about something here in the little teasy bits that are in the end credits. I'm just snooping through. Oh, there we go. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. They have that whole waveform thing, which we finally got to actually see in the show. The one where we weren't sure if it was the predicted function thing in the end credits, where we weren't sure if that was the portal gun or what was going on.
Oh yeah, but it ended up being the DNA that transmits and the DNA that receives.
Yeah. Which is funny because they had it in here in the end credits, but they just up and slapped it in. Hey, 47. And then they kind of just hand waved over it and didn't say anything else.
Right. And I'll give them that, it's kind of cool that they have all this stuff in the end credits, but it's still, to me, they waited way too long to get this far into the story.
WQFM.
WBOG. Resistance is futile. Yeah, so that would and Gorilla, I didn't catch when Danny said that to you. I'm sorry.
No. He was just harshing out on you for you trying to claim that he was skating on the shaving duties. His shaving was pre-approved, or his facial hair choice was pre-approved.
Oh, okay. Well, that's because I already know Cece's okay with the goatee. I don't need to call her.
Yeah, and also too, just for those who may not have figured it out yet, some of the maybe skit-like things that Danny says are very wrestling inspired. So if you're at all familiar with wrestling, just remember that he might pull some inspiration from that.
Yeah.
So grain of salt.
You're muted, Danny.
Mute. Top boop boop.
Not a thing. You sound better than you did for the rest of the show, that's for sure.
What's going on? Oh, you muted yourself in the stream. I can't unmute you.
Yeah, you're muted in Streamlabs or StreamYard. Look on StreamYard.
There you go.
Now you're unmuted there.
Oh, and now your mic is actually muted. You probably got to tap the button. No.
Yeah. All right. So
ground control to Major Tom.
Gently hit it with a hammer.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Let's see. How can I figure oot is without knowing what oot means? How do I figure what oot is without knowing what oot means?
Oot.
That's what Thomas said. I'm not sure what he means. And Famous Bear says the Borg don't need to hide in a cloud. Well, these Borg apparently do.
Well, because it's a transmitter Borg, so they got to. He had to drop out and come back in, maybe. Yeah, that's a transmitter Borg cube. Of course, they've got to hide it. That's a
and Blaine the Keto Klingon says I was so surprised that the Borg were behind the door. Such a surprise. Can you smell my sarcasm? No, not at all. And Occupy Wallet says, I found the Borg sperm as the big bad for this season to be very disappointing. I did as well. And then Tom says, you say oot.
If I say oot, then I'm all the way in Minnesota because it's
No,
not
you did say oot sometimes.
It's out.
It looks like Danny's backstage again.
Nigo Goya, you killed my father. Prepare to die. Can you hear me now? Jesus.
You keep using
That's
these
not how he
words.
says it. He says,
I do not think you know what this word means.
He says, hello. My name's Inigo Montoya.
You know, I was like, hello. My name is Inigo Montoya. Like, I don't know what happened. I'm sorry. Anyway. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that was weird. That was funny. Well, I've had mic problems with StreamYards this past 2 days too. So
Seems like everybody has, to be honest with you. I've been on a few streams where this kind of weird.
Meanwhile, Geordi is like looking at DNA strands, and Picard's like, looking very old there. And I like that typical board drone DNA modifications. Like that's just a slide that they have ready to go.
So, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
If has Major Grin done this yet? Because if not, he should do a video about like before this scene, the one that you just said. Like that would be
What,
good.
that?
Yeah, because remember when Lore said like cracks on like how old he looks in his face.
Yeah, right there he does. He looks.
Yeah, no, like I want Major Grin to make like, because a lot of fans have been saying. I mean, William Shatner's older than this dude and looks younger than him. It just blows my mind. And just, but anyway, yeah.
So yeah, I always get a kick out of that screen just because they have a PowerPoint presentation ready to go with typical Borg drone DNA modifications on it. Because of course they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they're all this is their magic meeting room moment of the episode.
LDG and JT and whoever else. Stop tweeting me, man. I have my phone on do not disturb. You're in the freaking chat. Talk to me here.
What are they're tweeting you?
You don't have DMing me. You don't have to do anything.
Why are they DMing you? They were
maybe I'm just old and I got older last. But JD, or not JD, sorry.
Why are you guys DMing him when he's on the show?
LDG, Jasper sucks. At me later. We'll talk. Anyway.
What are you guys talking about? Wrestlers now?
No. Jasper's an AI art thing, and it's garbage. I don't pay for it. That's the worst thing I've ever used in my life. Like, I'd rather pay for Midjourney. At least it listens. Anyway,
how about you just not pay for AI and think for yourself,
dude? I'm going to show you when I'm done. I'm going to show you this. I've made.
I don't need to see
so many websites. And 100% of the content was written by AI, and they know it. And I'm a dumbass for letting them know, because I should have charged them for that. But I'm just like, I was so excited that it was so good that I was like, look at this, and the AI did this. Can you believe it? And they were like, what? Sorry.
Yeah. All right, so back to
look at his face. It looks like Geordie's judging me.
His face looks like Danny. Shut up.
Yeah. You're pretty spot on. All right. Hey, Mike, how many Bud Lights have you had?
I don't drink Bud Light.
Well, good. You shouldn't. You know what's funny? So a couple weeks ago, everybody lost their shit, including all of the Salty Nerd crew, because apparently there was a Bud Light. I don't watch.
I know all about the trans person.
No. That's Jack Daniels. There was a Bud Light.
No, that person's got a Bud Light sponsorship as well.
Okay, well, that's not what I'm talking about. There was a commercial where a dude was drinking a Bud Light in a bubble bath, watching a movie on an iPad, and it said something about like having the best seat in the house. And so here's the thing. It's probably like too much insight to me. I didn't have an issue with it because I've got a gigantic, it's bigger than a garden style tub, and I have a TV mounted above it. And I, at least 2-3 times a week, I soak in that some bitch and watch either a movie or like an episode or two of something I'm watching. And I love it. And while I'm not drinking Bud Light, I saw the Bud Light commercial. I was like, oh, that's cool. They're normalizing that. And then everybody was like hating on it. And then I just saw yesterday a Coors Light commercial that was almost exactly identical. Is Bud Light and Coors Light owned by the same company?
No, that I don't think so.
Okay, so Coors Light like I'm telling you, there was a Coors Light commercial I saw yesterday, nearly identical to the Bud Light one.
I don't really drink beer, so
I don't either. I can't because of my surgery.
Anyway, back to what we're talking about. So Worf figures out this all has to do with Federation Day, and then I do gotta admit,
Occupy wallets. Go ahead and turn it off. In fact, I'm a wrench.
Wow, what?
Bye.
No, stop.
Bye.
Stop.
No.
Don't be abusive.
Oh no,
We're supposed to be talking about Star Trek. Occupy wallets is right. So
abusive.
Wow.
I've never flexed like that before. Give me one pass. I'm sorry, but he was a dick to me last week.
Anyway, so we have this. I gotta say, this is a really cool transition where they're looking at the digital readout of the
and look at all those
Starbase
starships.
1.
Like they're everywhere. Yeah.
Right.
There was a bunch of name drops all over the place on that board too.
Yeah, like the USS Pulaski and the Hikaru Sulu.
So I just want to mention something to you, Mike, because you're such a huge. I mean, I like Strange New Worlds.
There's a transition shot right there where it goes from their display panel to the.
That's fine. I might as well be in the chat. That's fine. Right.
No, go ahead.
So I know you're a huge mark for Strange New Worlds. I like Strange New Worlds, but I'm actually enjoying this better. Well, look, man, I have my notifications off, and then they come on, and it does. Is that you, bro? God, I'm on the thing. Anyway, did you know that Picard season 3 is the first Trek since they've been doing Trek on CBS All Access / Paramount Plus to break the streaming top 10 list? Because Strange New Worlds didn't even do that. So what do you say to that?
There's an old saying that goes back to the early days of the internet, saying "Don't feed trolls."
Oh, okay.
Which is what you're doing right now.
I am, but it is a valid question.
or is he hammering another button that's in IG-11? Just kind of poke.
It's not a question at all. It's not even,
Do it now, you bastard. Hey, look, I'm just trying to be Switzerland, but I thought it was a fun question. Anyway, continue.
Anyway, so we have the Starbase here, and all the space fireworks going off around Starbase 1. And here comes the new fat one, the Enterprise F for fat.
Dude, no, hold up. Go a couple seconds more when we see that there's like the space between right there. Like, oh man, I actually dig this design. You don't?
No, I do not.
Come forward like a second or two. I know you know. I'm trying to like fully illustrate. Here
right there.
Right there. Yeah. Look at that. That's kind of dope.
I don't mind the gap, but it's kind of there's a weird bloaty shape to it. And
the secondary
it's like Enterprise D. You call that the fat?
Yeah, I suppose it's
bloaty in the wrong. Like the Enterprise D is like Dolly Parton. This one is like Kim Kardashian.
So let me ask you this:
this is a fluffy E.
Mm-hmm. Would it have been better between the warp drive and the saucer to not have that little piece there? Would that have been better for you? You know how it goes from below the deflector dish, goes all the way up to
I think the Titan section is a better looking ship.
Oh no, I agree. The Titan is a way better looking ship. I'm not.
Yeah, the problem is I've seen the F for a while because it's part of Star Trek Online. Yeah, and I have not yet been able to make up my mind.
Is this what it looks like on Star Trek Online?
Yeah, this game. This been in the game for a while.
Kudos to them. Do you guys play it?
I tried to get into it a tiny bit, never really made it in, but I've seen quite a lot of content produced by a couple other YouTubers that use it as source material to do Starship Explainers.
I haven't played a Star Trek game since Star Trek Legacy on the Xbox 360. But if any of you guys out there, because that's why I don't know about all these. I mean, I think it's freaking cool. They're making video games canon by bringing in the same ship designs. But if any of you guys want to play,
Well, they're just
if I
making
can do
the
it, if I can do it
design.
on a computer, I'll do it. I don't have any game systems anymore. I grew out of that shit. But.
Yeah, Star Trek Online is available on pretty much everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's free to play, so you can you can play it for free. You just have to pay.
DM me. That's cool. Hey, anybody wants to play? DM me. Send me a link. I'll download.
It's
the
on
game.
Steam.
Yeah. Oh, I got Steam. My son. I got it for my son, so I can use. Yeah. Anyway, look at that. Look at that shot. Look at that.
It looks a little better from this angle.
That angle's not bad at all, but that front angle, it's like a fluffy E.
Yeah, it looks horrible from the front. From the bottom, it looks all right. And there's Admiral Shelby.
And last time we saw her, she was Commander Shelby on Best or was it Best?
And she was.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with her. From the looks of it, I'm guessing that, and I don't know, that the actress may have had a stroke or something, because we don't see her move very much. And like she's sitting in the chair, and then she's standing still in the other shot that we see of her. And if you look,
I just hate that they you know what? Another thing that pissed me off, not as much as Shaw. They they bring back a legacy character.
Oh yeah, and then they just kill her.
And they just unceremoniously kill her.
Right.
Like,
well, they did that to Ro earlier, so why not?
Well, no, Ro
made a choice.
No, Ro, Rose was way better because.
Well, Rose was definitely better than Shelby, because Shelby's like, "Hey, what's going on?" You know.
Yeah. No, and I'm almost done. They're
Shelby
making me
got
break
practically Boba Fetted.
Yeah, they're making me break it up into 6 parts, but I've been writing a very extensive, long article about Ensign Ro Laren, and why what happened to her in that episode of Picard was so impactful. I'm over like I'm almost to 6,000 words, and I have to break. They want me to break it up into parts now because because they say this generation nobody will read it if I don't.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That is a problem.
Yeah. So
I
still have 2 episodes. I still have 2 episodes to cover with her too, which is crazy.
So we see the Borg, a bunch of Borg ships.
Yeah, look at that. Look at all those towers. That's new, right? All of those.
Yeah, that's a whole new. That's a new style of.
It's
of tech.
It's the transmitters for what their Borgifying DNA thing. And so he beams over to the Borg ship. Meanwhile, the Titan is heading in, and Shelby's giving her speech. Now, one thing that's kind of funny is, and I didn't catch this on my first viewing, but on subsequent viewings I did. They said they were an hour away from the Sol system when Shelby started giving her speech. When they arrived, she was still giving her speech.
Yeah. You know what? Did you not watch Best of Both Worlds? She's the kind of chick that loves to hear her own voice.
Maybe she just prattled on.
But come on, an hour-long speech about the birth of the Federation from the captain's chair of the ship.
I was given 2 minutes to talk at Stan Lee's funeral, and I went on for 12. So it happens, and I have video to prove it. Gorilla's random thoughts. Can you put that up? Because I want to respond to that.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm writing it because I want to warn everybody.
He's writing it.
No. I'll tell you right now, dude. I bitched about this earlier. Remember, I said I got into a 4-hour long argument over. So GTP doesn't know all about Star Trek. It gets everything wrong. Literally,
it's assertively wrong.
Yeah, like it's. I almost feel like it's on purpose. So no, I'm definitely writing it because I you must admit I ran it for a good 20 minutes. because I
Oh,
literally
I
wasted.
totally remember. Yeah, because
I
it was,
wasted 4 hours of my life arguing with an AI over Star
The
Trek.
funny thing
Yeah.
is that if he was just write it himself, he wouldn't have to argue with the
No,
AI.
I was writing it myself. I was just trying to use it for research, and instead I used Google and what's the Trek what's it called? It's
Memory Alpha.
Memory Alpha. Yeah, Memory Alpha. I'm just like, dude, did you guys not feed Memory Alpha into Chat GPT about shit that happened 30 years ago? What the
Clearly
hell?
not. No.
Yeah, no. Yeah. So anyway.
So here's a random fact. Just when I was just checking up on the actress. This will make all the sense in the world when I say it. Her father, the actress's father, Brian Dennehy.
No, we know that. I already knew that.
I had no idea.
Seriously?
I did not know that's Brian Dennehy's daughter.
Oh my God.
That totally skated past me for all these years.
Yeah. So what happened? So this was like 2003 or 4. I was doing this, the early days of the internet. I was on this blog called Hey Vader. You should join us, buddy. Join us. No, I love the hat. I've been doing. Oh no, put it back up. I want to show what I've been doing. Put it back up. I've been doing this the whole time. Whenever they put up the chat, because they have me at the bottom. Anyway, where was I?
He likes being at the bottom.
Brian Dennehy.
I am a power bottom. Oh yeah. So early 2000s, I was having this argument with somebody, and they had to look it up. I don't even know if IMDb was around in 2003 or 4, but they looked it up, and they were like, "Oh my God, you were right." And I was like, "Duh, just look at her face, dude. She looks just like her dad, the poor thing."
Oh, the second I saw it, I instantly realized, holy moly.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. So Brian's daughter gets
Vader's at work.
nuked.
Well, hey man, thanks for checking in on us with during your break.
Yeah.
And I thought you were going to be at the studio, man. It's all good. Wolf 359 was an inside job. Lore Reloaded has given us all the info. Okay.
It's true.
Lore's got some pretty wicked teardowns on some of this stuff.
Yes. All right. So moving on. So then we see all of Starfleet, apparently.
Dude, no. You got to there's another shot where it's like,
oh yeah, get
we'll
into that
get
arc
there,
that you were.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
why, Vader? Why are you mad at Kadish? When I saw him earlier today, he said he hated this episode. Something about structure.
That might be why he's mad at him.
And he would elaborate. Well, that's what I'm trying to find out. And he said he would elaborate on Saturday. So all three of us have agreed we're going to tune in on Saturday.
Oh, I can't wait till a week from Saturday when we're all there.
So what are you mad at him about? Let us know, man. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry. I even wore the anal fantasy shirt for you, Vader. I was expecting to see you. If you like this shirt, you can go to mixtees.com/Dork Knight LV. Use the promo code the podcast for 20% off.
So yeah, and for those of you that don't know, yes, on the Salty Nerd podcast, I will be there fighting all of them a week from Saturday.
Whoa. We will be there.
You're not going to be fighting them.
No, well, apparently I will, because Kadish doesn't like this episode. So,
Yeah, but Vader will be on your side, see?
I love you, big bro. You can give me all the shit you want. You can be as mean as me you want. I will take it, because at the end of the day, you and I are on this.
All right, let's get back to the show. All right, so anyway, Jack is confronting the Borg Queen, who we never see. We only hear her voice.
Well, I told you why.
Yeah, we know. We know.
Yeah.
But on screen, we never see her. We only hear her voice, and we see what is obviously a puppet.
It is Alice Krieg's voice. Well, that's not a puppet. It's probably some fill-in. They never show her face.
Oh, yeah, it's probably a total stand-in. Yeah.
Jellicoe should have been captain of the F. Well, Jellicoe's an admiral. That's canonical from Star Trek Prodigy. But he'd be kind of old to be doing live action stuff right now.
Yeah.
He's, I mean, because Ronnie Cox, I think, is like around 90.
Hey, Vader, I
Um,
got to ask you a question, bro. Let me know if you're still here. Are you as upset as I am
maybe he's
about
in
the
his
death
80s.
of Shaw? About the death of Shaw? Let me know, because like I would have. This episode lost a full point because they killed Shaw off. I was really wanting Star Trek Legacy to be Shaw and Seven in the future, and like Shaw's dead now, so I can't if they give us Shaw, it's before this, and I don't want a freaking prequel. I want to go off of this.
All right. We should talk about that later.
Okay, so he's
All right.
I can't click on it. He agrees. He was devastated.
Yes, I saw. He was devastated.
Okay. Put it on the screen.
Right.
Put it on the screen.
So,
Put it on the screen. Thank you.
Devastated.
Acknowledge me. Thank you.
Whatever.
Devastation.
So he points his phaser at the Queen, but he can't pull the trigger because I don't know. He's a wuss.
No, it's like RoboCop couldn't kill.
Ronnie Cox.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought of. That's exactly. Oh, Jellicoe. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't buy that. I don't think that if that there was anything forcing him not to. I think that he just
I disagree, because she makes a comment. She's like, you can't, because if you could, you would have already. Like that just reminded me of RoboCop. It really did.
Yeah. It's for sure.
Well, we'll see. But that's one more thing they probably won't bother to explain. And meanwhile, we're looking at Jean-Luc Picard's DNA some more, and they realize, holy crap, they put your DNA in the transporter, which means that the transporter has been slowly transforming every single person in Starfleet into a little bit Jean-Luc Picard, because all along,
the shit they took out of his
they've been putting that in everybody.
Yeah,
exactly. Which is why when they put out the signal, everybody under 25,
which you realize what they're saying here is that the transporters all along, when you go through the transporter, what comes out of the transporter is not entirely you.
I gotta say this real quick, Darren. Mike is my friend. If you can't stop
don't
being rude, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna block you if you can't stop being rude. Just like, come on.
That's
man.
why he's on your channel, because I've already blocked him from mine because he won't stop.
Come on, man. Can't we all just get along? I mean, we can disagree, but still be civil. You know, like I love these guys, even though Mike is wrong like 90% of the time.
Anyway, but if you look at the way they're talking about the way the transporters work, they're saying that they store they store common DNA.
Data explain that. Yeah.
In every for that's across the species and everybody, which means that when the transporter, at least the newer transporters from the TNG era, if you beam up, it's not taking your molecules and beaming you up. It's taking and making a copy, and part of that copy is based on pre-stored information, which means that what's being assembled is not you.
Oh no, hold up. I like scientifically, if I may play devil's advocate, disagree with you here. The primordial goo that all humanity, that all of us humans are made up of, I'm pretty sure there's some kind of baseline that's the same. And I think that's what this is referring to.
Right,
it's
but
like,
you're not.
Here's the baseline, and then everything that makes
without drifting too far off into Star Trek book manual nerd time, the TNG and forward transporters, they have a matter stream buffer. So when they tear you apart, they put you in the buffer, and then when they beam you from a pad to a pad, they actually build you out of different material partially. But if they send you directly to a planet surface, it's old school style.
Remember, we've had so many instances. So I'm gonna go backwards. So remember when Rascals, they were transported, and then they turned into kids, and then they figured out what was wrong, and they fixed it in the transporter, and then they transported them back into adults.
You're kind of proving my point.
Hold up. And then let's go back further. TOS, Enemy Within. And that's what I actually loved about the scene between Lore and Data. It was straight from Enemy Within. Like, remember that's the episode where Kirk in that transporter accident, it was split in two. It was like all good, all evil. What's so funny?
Well,
I know it's made up, Vader, but like that's
besides that, Danny doesn't realize he's proving my point.
This is half the fun of being a fucking nerd. Anyway, no, and if I'm proving your point,
exactly.
That's fine. Yeah. So remember at the end of that episode, Enemy Within, Kirk are hugging, much like Data and Lore are hugging. It was almost beat for beat the same.
Right. But
like
but let me explain you a little bit about the difference between TOS transporters and TNG transporters, and why I think you're missing the larger point.
Please educate me.
When the TOS transporter split Kirk in two, they quickly realized that Kirk would die if they did not reintegrate the two back into one.
That was
and yes,
like,
Jason,
no,
I did see that. It's amazing.
That was that was a hypothesis by Spock, and they
he was growing weaker.
No, they revisit that later in Star Trek V. Because
what are you talking about in Star Trek?
Oh my, okay, look, $20. Shush. I refuse to call that a tip. Hold up. Super chat.
And thank you so much, Mr. Fed. Throws in, I have but one thing to say. My friends, we have come home. How this episode play out was on the level with Luke's return in Mandalorian. You know, Fed, I love you to death, but I disagree with you. I disagree with you.
I didn't get to read that. I don't understand. Can you explain what he said? Like, what did he just say?
He's comparing the ending of this episode, as far as them getting on the bridge of the Enterprise D and stuff, to Luke Skywalker's triumphant return at the end of the Mandalorian season 2.
It's the same fucking thing, dude. It's a warm blanket of nostalgia.
Yeah, you use that term a lot. You keep saying that. I do not think it means
because it's
Matt's in full form in here.
Fair enough. But you know what? I bet you Kate is good. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I have so got to watch.
And I know, dude. I want to do what you're talking about. We should do a show watching
the show,
commenting on their show.
Yes.
Anyway,
let's do it.
Kirk would have died if he had stayed separated. They were growing weaker. He couldn't remain separated. They had to reunite them back together.
Do we know that for a fact, though?
Yeah. I actually watched that episode just a few months ago, and
yes, we do know that for a fact. In TNG,
I need my pain.
If in TNG, if the transporters make a copy of you, now there's two of you. Look at Riker.
Hey, you think
there we go. Hey, if we want filler between now and when Strange New Worlds is on,
you just argue about technobabble.
We could argue about technobabble a couple of weeks.
well, no, I thought we were gonna do. I've never seen Battlestar. I thought we were gonna.
Yeah, we can work on that. I'm gonna be out of pocket for a few weeks in May too, so we'll kind of skirt some stuff around. I'll be in your pocket.
Hey man, look. Not only so. Here's the thing. Before I even had this cancer scare, I've already got a shoulder surgery lined up, a hip surgery lined up, and a neck surgery lined up. But if I have, I'll find out tomorrow. But if I have I don't. So, I'll agree to anything right now. I don't know what my schedule is.
Send me all your money then. And while you're at, send me all CC's money.
Hey man, between you and the Salty Nerd podcast and the Popcast, I
need it more than they do.
Hey man, I'm just saying, I could have bought a fucking car as much money as I spent the last few months on you guys, but
I couldn't get a car with it, so I think you're giving it to the wrong people.
Well, that's why I got this shiny new hat. Go to saltynerdclub.com. Join today.
See, now you're pimping them.
Actually, I don't even know if that was the right link for the hat.
Yeah, you watch. It's probably some
It wasn't.
some phishing site
Right.
by
Well,
accident.
anyway, so they incorporate everybody is becoming a little like Picard. So everybody becomes a
No, everybody's
Borg,
getting the Borg organic.
the Borg receiver DNA.
Yeah. And only those under 25. So if we think
everybody
about it,
gets
Ro,
it, but only those under 25
Oh,
are
no.
affected by it.
So they Ro could have taken the transporter and it wouldn't have affected her because she was, it's pretty
Poor
old.
Ro.
She was old.
She died for nothing.
Also, you had a super tip.
Oh, did I? I'm so sorry. Ariel Valet took $3.33. Tip.
Put it on the screen. I don't see it.
Nah, it's the tip.
Oh,
It's a tip.
Oh,
It's
super tip.
There.
Too cheap to give the whole thing. She just gave the tip.
Oh,
it was a joke. Jesus.
No, I think he locked up.
Oh, is that what? Okay, I thought.
I think it's.
Where'd he go? You there? Oh,
right.
Critical failure.
Well, hey.
So there's a starship rushing in.
Yeah. Jason. Jason.
Yeah.
When you texted me this morning, what was you were like highs and lows, good and bad. What was the bad? You haven't really told me yet.
The bad for me in this episode is that they pushed the story further and further out with all this filler. What ultimately, if you look at a lot of it, it's throwaway and delayed.
We're
actually
talking about
answering.
this episode. Don't wait for the translation. Answer me now.
It's because this should have been way tighter. This whole thing should have been tighter. That's why this episode drives me crazy.
Man, that's what I said to my date on prom night. But you don't always get what you want. So come on.
Well, you know what? What we got was sloppy Star Trek. We got an otherwise excellent episode, short of a bunch of weird plot holes that they actually added in.
But why? What's the why to your? Because I can tell you.
Okay, so
maybe three tops points. Why?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I can't remember. I talked about this with Mike at least offline. I might have brought it up on one of the streams. There was a movie called Would You Rather, and it actually stars. Oh, this is terrible. I can't remember his name right off the top of my head, but buddy that played. No names.
You know what I'm laughing at, right? Sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, Vader, I love you, and don't get mad at me, but Salty Trucker's got more subscribers than Salty Nerds, so there's that,
And I'm just some crazy Canadian who sometimes shaves.
Please. Yeah.
Anyway, so
go shave. You need to go shave now.
I'll be shaved before the next one.
No, I can't. No, I can't believe I shaved 2 days in a row and you still haven't shaved. It's crazy.
Oh man, the guy who plays all the aliens in all the shows.
Your wife is clearly not Latina, right?
And she definitely is way more tolerant than anyone gives credit for.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, this movie. Okay, so this movie, it's called Would You Rather. It's got a great recurring actor in it, Jeffrey Combs. Thank you, Sirstus. And at the end of the movie, within 5 minutes of the very end of the movie, they effectively ruin the movie with a really poor choice in the way they wrote it. Because otherwise, I was generally enjoying it. It would have been way more satisfying if you deleted the last 5 minutes of the movie.
Don't you hate that? That's like when you're like, let's say, I'm a man of a certain age. Let's say, you finally somehow the gods shine upon you. You get to make love to Cindy Crawford. That's me because of my age group. You pick whoever you want.
You're muted, Danny. You're muted. or not Danny, sorry. Mike. Holy man.
Anyway,
well, that's good because I was about to cuss him out for turning this into a love fest with Cindy Crawford.
So anyway. Come back to me.
No, it wouldn't have been that bad, but since you made it that bad, I'm just
all right. Well, go ahead. So somehow Cindy Crawford, which should be an insult to Cece, by the way. But go ahead. And he's just gone. Come on, Danny.
I'm here. I just don't remember what I was going to say because you derailed me so much. So.
Well, you were going to say how much you want.
Something at the end can spoil it.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Now I remember. Look, it's like insert whoever, Pam Anderson, Cindy, whoever your like celebrity crush of all time is. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like you like somehow some miracle happened and you get to like make love to your super celebrity crush and you don't get to nut. That's what it like, right?
That's where you go with that.
Well, I thought that would be
actually how about you think you're about to and then you wake up from a dream.
Oh, see, same thing, exactly the same. Look, you got to look at the metrics, Salty. Most of the people who watch us are men of a certain age, could relate.
And somehow your mother tolerates our shenanigans.
Well, thank you, Matt Vader. He says my allegory was great and I'm on fire. So, my mom made me. And
I don't need the details of the day your mom made you. No, I really don't.
I don't either because I don't know and I don't want to know. But when I was hanging out with Kadish earlier today, my mom came up and what was the point of that?
Was your Kadish your dad and he was telling you the story?
No. Can we get back to the fucking
well, you're the one that derailed everything.
So there's a big fleet of ships in front of us here.
Yes.
And I'm having a hard time hating and loving the show at the same time.
I'm really having a hard time with this because it's a beautiful shot, but this is also supposedly all of Starfleet.
Yeah, this seems to be an awful.
No. There's a shot later where it looked like there were like 1,000 freaking ships, man. It like
I counted. It was at most 500.
Really?
He had a boring day.
You know what? Now I get why you say the things you say about me when it comes to sex. I get it.
No, I what?
So yeah, this fleet count is this is kind of weak sauce for me.
Right. If this is the entirety of Starfleet,
dude, are you kidding me? I don't even want to start counting. There's at least, like you said, 500 ships there that we can see. You don't think there are ships behind the like there's
Well, no, but the whole shtick later on is that all of them are right there, all part of that big.
Right,
because the majority of them are like have people under 25. They established that earlier.
Well,
and their sole mission is to kill everybody else.
The whole point of this fleet is to show that this new system will work in perfect formation. So there's not ships hiding on the other side of the planet and on the other side of space dock, because they all form one line and head towards space dock at the end of this episode.
Star Trek, sir. You made a comment earlier.
You really need to change that picture, Star Trek. It's just horrifying to look at.
You keep calling him Star Trek. It's Star Trek.
I said Star Trek. I just say it fast. Star Trek.
Oh God.
Star Trek. Star Trek.
It's like
the funny thing is if you say Star Trek,
I have a black eye. I have a black eye, and then I have friends that are like, "You have a black eye?" No, I said I have a black eye. You have a black eye? No, I have a black eye. Like
Mhm.
English sucks, man. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. You got that right? Black eye,
Oh,
black
yeah.
eye.
You like black guys. I get it.
No. Anyway, so let's continue. This is
So we
where
have space
Picard
fireworks
breaks
and
into
all of Starfleet is there, which apparently is only 500 ships. And Shelby's still giving her speech, and the system is overriding.
that little,
What?
nothing. I'll talk about it when we get there.
All right. So, and then Picard gets on the horn and is like, Admiral Shelby, the Borg are coming, the Borg are coming. And she's like, huh? What?
And then she like immediately gets freaking killed.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that. And then the fucking, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cuss. That whiny little Ensign Esmar bitch that should have got killed instead of Tavine becomes the leader of the Titan Borg. Seriously?
Seemingly, yeah.
Seriously? I just like that pissed me. Man, I might have to take another half point off.
Well, yeah, actually, the funny thing is I was hashing out a bunch of stuff a little earlier, just before the show, and the number of mistakes that they made with the canon of the Borg and the behavior of the Borg should not be talking out loud. All the Borgs should not be acting like freaking
individuals. No, they should have all been saying it in unison.
They should be saying nothing because they should be transmitting.
When the one Borg says collective, we have the Titan. That makes no sense.
No, hold up. Let me.
Yeah,
well, that's the Ensign Esmar. I don't give a shit about, but. But
Ensign Esmar is part of the collective at that point.
Stop. Before that, when Ensign LaForge said she's the one that introduces, like, we are the Borg. Everybody on that bridge who was Borg should have said that with her in unison. That was that was a problem I had.
I agree with you there, but but I also, my biggest problem with the Borg dialogue was the fact that Esmar sat in the captain's chair and said, collective, we have the Titan.
We have the Titan. Yeah.
As if we are not in the collective.
Yeah. You know, you're 100%. I know all of this pissed me off. I totally agree. When that little whiny bitch that should got her head blown to V sits in the chair.
You really don't like her. Did Danny just
there we
freeze?
go. Sorry, I muted myself. Oh no, Danny went to freeze, and I forgot to unmute.
Very
you glitched. You're glitching.
Yeah, your matrix froze. You're moving now, though.
Yeah, you are moving. You're just your bandwidth is low.
Disappeared. Are you back? Are we getting?
Yeah. You're coming back.
No, you guys disappeared.
Right, because it was on your end. So basically, we disappeared because your internet went wacky.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was the last thing you heard me say? Because I kept talking. So I'll.
You
take
it out. Because it was.
Yeah, you were not happy with the greenhead lady surviving, and now she's queen of the ship or something.
Right, but we all agree about that she and the fact that she was talking to the collective like they were a separate person than her made no sense.
Right. So.
Ooh.
And
you're breaking hard
again.
Okay, I'll be back.
All right.
Okay.
And while he's gone, Ro Lauren tipped $1. Thank you so much, Ro. Says, is it just me or does networking ships together feel like I've lived through that? And it feels like I'm pretty sure it didn't work out that time. Yes, indeed, Ro. You have been through this before, networking all the ships together. And
exactly.
And it didn't work out for you that time either.
Yeah. Now, you know what's even worse is
Danny hasn't seen yet. Funny enough.
Yeah, I know. You're good.
Okay. All right.
You're solid. Yeah. The other thing that's funny that hit me a few minutes ago, this brain bug that's beamed into everybody's heads.
Yes.
Order 66.
Yeah. Execute order 66.
Well, no. Only for those under 25. It's like the selective serve. What's it called? Is it the selective?
Yeah, we'll call it order, or call it order 25.
Yeah, no, this is their version of the selective service. So, like, if they were to reinstate a draft today in America, all of my kids would be fucked. But I'm good because oh well, you can't see me. Check that out.
Will you stop pointing at your hat?
Well, if you'd stop blocking my face. This message brought to you by. Oh, hey, thank you. Okay.
You're muted, Jason.
Ah, jeez. The problem with this observation is that throughout all the scenes, none of them touch a comm badge or a comm panel.
Yeah.
They just are talking to the ether, kind of like I was a minute ago.
Yeah.
So here's your favorite part, though. What's going on? Hey guys.
No,
yeah, and then
no. Why are you going to bring back somebody just to kill him? That's cheap.
that was so cheap. And what was you know what killed me the most is Shelby was the head of all Borg weapons research, the head of all kinds of different things.
Why would she agree to this?
Yeah, and this is an element that frustrates me. If it wasn't for everything in the past, in all the canon that existed before, this was kind of sort of an interesting scene, and it made the show on its own good.
I might have to take another half a point off.
But this kind of nonsense, it's like the show's pacing was generally really well done, but the show content is so broken.
Right.
No, Vader, I get that everyone hates Shelby, but it's like you can't deny it's a very cheap trope. Hold up. It's a very cheap trope to bring back a legacy killer character just to kill them without and I get, what about Rolaren? This is totally different. Rolaren had several episodes. This bitch only had 2, right? I think 2.
Yeah, 2 episodes was all she was in, and then there was discussion, I think, in other episodes, but she was in 2.
Just to bring her
wait
back.
till next episode when Admiral Nachiev shows up and then she's immediately killed.
They kill her.
Well, is that the fucking hubris chick?
No, no. That's the really short lady with the blonde hair that was constantly going to the Galaxy D.
Oh, yeah. Well, I no. They need to bring the fucking hubris chick back. And
yeah.
Sheer. Yeah. You know what? I'm not just cussing for cussing.
No, you know what they should
I know. That's what did we make? What did we call her? She was Discount who?
I don't know, man, but like
they just need to. Well, she's.
Hey, Vader, thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate
Take it easy,
you.
Vader.
Yeah,
see you, Vader.
But yeah, she's just Admiral Potty Mouth is what we call her.
Yeah,
Admiral Potty Mouth needs to die. Not her, damn it! Not her, not
just
Shelby.
Admiral Potty Mouth onto the Borg cube, and the Borg, and then the Borg will surrender.
Maybe she was actually a changeling the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, that would explain dressing down Picard so hard.
Yeah.
All right. Cece's not here. She's out with her friends. You guys aren't going to tell on me if I smoke, are you?
She'll know.
No, she won't.
You want to bet? You know how many times she's told me how she knows, but she doesn't say anything. So just don't do it.
Really?
Yeah. So,
well, let's hurry up, man. We're already late. I want to smoke a cigarette. Like, look,
get over it. We'll get through it. So just relax.
We've only got about 10 minutes.
Put it down. Put it down.
We've only got about 10 minutes of the actual
All right.
We'll get through it. And I'll tell you what. The other thing with the Borg stuff that's driving me crazy because I'm letting it play a little bit here in the background. Mm-hmm. This whole business about some people are transmitters, or one person's a transmitter and some are receivers. That makes no sense.
Why? Because it actually made sense
how
to me. So I want to hear.
How in the world
can hey,
Jack actually know what he see? Everybody that he controls, how does he know what they see?
So hey, man, I used to when I lived in Texas, like 20 years ago. I used to set up WANs. So I would buy these omnidirectional antennas. I'd set them up in a central location because it's like, you gotta understand, Texas is like
big and flat.
Country, So I was in this was Tarkington, which is by Cleveland, Conroe, Houston, that area.
Okay.
And there was no back in 2000, 2, 3, 4, 5. There was. Oh wow, you didn't do too well, huh? Come here.
See, now aren't you glad you listened to me?
Yeah. Anyway, I would set up these WANs, wide access networks, that other houses, like if you wanted to pull the internet off of that, this old technology, you had to have point to point. So I'd have to put up like kind of I call it an antenna, but it looked like a speaker, really.
Yeah, they actually still use a lot of that stuff even today.
Really?
Yeah, in the rural areas, they still use a lot of that.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of places, they've been putting a lot of money into, because where I used to do that, you can get fiber optic high speed internet now. So light it now, tough guy. Oh, okay.
So you were.
Oh shit! No, she's home. I can't. Oh, that was.
So you were gonna say with the transmitter that you'd set up, because I was crusty about the fact that people, if it's a one-way communication path, then there's no way that Jack would have a clue what they could see.
So this might not make sense. But so the omnidirectional antenna I would set up that's feeding out the internet. It's like all it doesn't receive. It just pumps it out.
Yep.
And then the receivers that look on their end, they could not pump it out. They could only receive.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I thought about it.
Well, that's fine on its face, except for the fact that for Jack to tell them what to do and how to fight and how to kill and how to intercept, and in this case, the Borg at this point, they still have to be able to tell back to the Borg what's going on.
Wow, my mom is. I might have to leave. How much have I had to drink? You guys have been witnessing me here. I haven't had shit to drink. Cece just came home.
Yeah, he's okay tonight.
Yeah.
Penny's being mean.
Yeah, Mom. Jesus.
Mean Penny.
All right, so let's get back to the show, or we're never going to finish. So
yeah, right.
So now,
Cece was like, "I thought you said 2 hours." She just got home.
All the Borg kids are trying to kill all the grown-ups.
Yeah,
and
I love this scene. I love this scene where Data stopped Geordi.
He's like, "Come on, be sensible."
God.
Yeah.
No, not. It wasn't like it wasn't even from like an android logical sense. It was like, hey, friend, like this. Actually, I love this scene. I really did.
No, this is actually probably the best part of the episode to me, is that it's one of the very few times that someone is going to do something irrational. Someone else points out how stupid it is, and then the person goes, "Yeah, you're right." And then
And honestly, it's starting to get to the point where some of the very best acting in this entire season has been between Brent Spiner and LeVar
Burton. Yeah. Because so to what both of you are saying. So when he says this, it's just their friendship is so beautiful. You know what I mean? It's just like it makes it like
obviously it's nothing compared to Picard's friendship with Data that we saw in season 1. But yeah, it's
oh yeah, but we pretend season 1 didn't happen.
That's why he's called Salty. That's fine.
All right, so everybody's trying to hunt people down.
Hey, baby, Ariel Ballet says I am drunk on Trek.
Trek, Madam President.
Oh, is it
Madam or Madame, if you want to say it that way? Yeah,
Mademoiselle.
I don't know. He had eyes. No, he had eyes in all of the movies, right? Didn't he? Because I remember he was talking to Zephram Cochrane, and he had eyes. So yeah, he had eyes in.
It was after Generations that he switched with the.
Yeah. So yeah, it didn't bother me at all. Oh.
So they're trying to avoid the zombies, and then we get the Excelsior destroyed off screen by.
Dude, did you notice there was a ship? So there was a ship called Pulaski. I actually wrote this shit down because a bunch of my friends were like, "When's Pulaski gonna make an appearance?" And I'm pretty sure she's dead, so I don't think that's possible. But there was a ship called the USS Pulaski, and there was a ship called the USS Hikaru Suru. Did you see those? Like,
Yes.
okay,
They're on
yeah.
this particular.
Yeah, this screen here, but like, yeah.
Let's see if we can get to. There we go. So there's the Sulu up there, the Cochrane, the Intrepid, the Luna, Fire Sword Clark. Oh, that's a cool name, the Fire Sword. I want to see that ship.
Oh yeah, look, the USS
Magellan.
Hikaru
There you go,
Sulu.
the Drexler. That's the name of the guy that does a lot of the ship designs.
Well, I promise you, I saw the Pulaski.
Akuda, which is the guy that has been in charge of Trek
did
War.
yeah. Well, no,
Yeah.
he's the one. He did the graphic design of the L cars and all of that.
Right.
He was an art director.
One of the biggest drops in here, though, that's totally TNG related, is the USS Gilgamesh.
Yeah. The Gilgamesh is not on this shot, it looks like, but yeah.
No, but it is.
No,
right
it is. Yeah, it is.
Titan.
It's right underneath
right
Titan.
underneath Titan.
The
Yeah.
one that's
Oh,
not
yeah,
on
you're
this
right. The
shot
Gilgamesh
is
is right there.
the Pulaski's not on this shot. It was like but I remember seeing it because I was like,
No, I saw the Pulaski.
You did?
Yeah, and there's a USS Ross on there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is definitely a nice little memberberry shot here.
Roddenberry shot.
Yeah.
It's
But
a
yeah, they just
memberberry
nuked that Excelsior 2 class ship, just gone.
Yeah.
What the f***'s going on with these member berries?
Oh, yeah.
I thought
The,
I thought something happened.
yeah, it was memberberries. So yeah, the Excelsior is just nuked in about half a second.
I'm getting
like, hey, we got control of our ship. Oh. And but then they get the idea. Hey, everybody, let's go to the lower maintenance area because it's not called engineering.
Hey,
anymore.
hold up. At least this shot is not a copy and paste. Like,
Oh yeah, the USS Copy Pasta
Oh yeah,
from season
this looks
1.
much better than,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they get the idea. Hey guys, let's go to the maintenance level. And so then Picard's like, yeah, just a second.
I told everybody on the ship to go down to the maintenance level in case you want to find us. That's where we're going to be at the maintenance level.
Yeah.
You know, so
Oh man.
because Picard is apparently the dumbest person ever.
Well, you know, he is like
There's a
197
big
years
shot
old.
of the
So
fleet
there's
right
that.
there.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
look at that. They look like ants. There's so many of them. And dude, I bet you some nerd's going to point this out in a video tomorrow, but after so when they pan out a little bit more, they're all in some weird formation.
Yeah, it is. It's some
Looks like
word.
it's spelled like it either spells something or it's a symbol of something. But it's shortly after this because they pan out and you can see every single Starfleet ship in a weird circle, star, pointy, thing.
Yeah, I did not see any California class.
Yeah, no love for the California.
Yeah.
Yeah. Baby. Oh, hey, baby.
But yeah, that's not cool. They should have brought the California
I don't
class
have
into
any,
there.
just soda.
You know, those terrible people.
What? Sorry. Okay, I'm trying, baby. Okay, we gotta hurry.
Okay.
I'm hurrying. So then they're all excited about wrinkles, and since Picard was stupid,
that was a funny line. When I saw that in the trailer, I was like, I thought it was beat up. But when it was like explained that Jack can't infect anybody over 25, I was like, oh, okay, now that makes sense. Yeah.
So then they're all stuck in the firefight because Picard was stupid and told everybody where they were. And
which got Shaw killed. Which I literally woke up Cece. I yelled at the television when that happened. Yeah, I was so mad.
So there's Shaw dying on the floor because he had the nerve to.
Oh my God! Hold up, I'm gonna prove it. Mr. Trent, I love you. Yes, he says, "You killed Shaw, you bastards."
Yeah.
Someone has to die. Raffi was right there. Seriously. You killed the best actor over the worst. She was right there. I feel your pain.
Well,
100% agree.
And here's the funny thing about it. So let's talk about Shaw's death for a second compared to in Mandalorian when they killed Paz.
Yeah.
Now Paz is a character that we've seen through all 3 seasons of Mandalorian as a supporting character. And he's both been a protagonist and antagonist.
Wow, I don't know where you're going with this, but I was way more pissed about Shaw dying than Paz. You know, even though I got more time.
I understand,
just really
but that's
like
because you don't care about the Mandalorian.
Actually, this is gonna sting. This is gonna make this sting even harder, though. Actually, Danny,
because they actually, the problem is that they gave Paz a better death, even though he was a less strong or less developed character in this season. And so, but he was more well known over the course of the entire show. If they had given Shaw a death like Paz had, I
would have been fine with it. But he got punked out like a little bitch, like anybody else on the ship. He got shot with a phaser and died. No, like you're gonna kill him. He better be taking out a bunch of MF, like just
right.
Yeah,
Paz
no,
went
I
down,
agree.
Like Paz said, "I will buy you time," and
he died.
Time.
What did I say yesterday?
Yeah,
he had an honorable death. He died like a Klingon. It was a good day to die. You know,
whereas he was like, "Okay, guys, go."
Yeah,
you know, and it's like, well, that was pointless.
Yeah, no, this really, this scene here really pissed me off. Like it hit me when he said 7 or whatever, and I know you didn't like it, but it hit me. But then when I was like, oh, he's dead, I was like, wow, this would have been a 10-star episode. Not anymore. And since we've been talking, I'm already down to 7.5, which is terrible.
Well, and the thing is, I didn't like the fact that he said 7 because that was a character change for him. Because
Ariel, yes, I am, but I can't help myself. That's why you either love or hate me, you know. Anyway, yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, then we see they take off in a shuttle, which just takes off from the regular shuttle bay. Why they had to go to the maintenance level to get to the shuttle, I don't know.
Well, they tried to explain it. They said because in that level, nobody was assigned.
Yes,
kind
but
of like
I'm just saying that they left through the regular shuttle bay.
Oh, okay. God, look at all those ships. They look like fucking cockroaches. I can't even begin. I can't even begin to count how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
So yeah, so now they're all moving in on Starbase 1.
22, 23, 24. I was counting. No, don't
I'll have to pause it.
Yeah, that was I was already over like 25 before I even left this corner.
Yeah, so they take their little shuttle to the museum, and Geordi's like, "Oh, I got a present for you," and they go in. We see the Enterprise D.
Dude, did you guys see? I know Kadish posted it. A bunch of other people did. It was apparently troll BS. They were like, "Oh my god, everybody's really." This was like 3 days ago. Everybody's releasing spoilers, and instead of the Enterprise D, it was the Enterprise E from First.
Yeah. You were saying earlier. You said earlier that he put that out on Twitter.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, well played, sir. You mother effer," because like I did not expect this because I thought that was real thing because I'm an idiot.
Right. I mean, look, I think this scene was good. I didn't.
Oh God, look how! Come on, man. We are all men of a certain. Well, I guess you're a little older. Come on, man. How do you not cream in your jeans for this shot and when they're on the bridge?
The D is not my favorite Enterprise, but I gotta say the model work, the CG model work that they put into this was excellent. Like everything else, as far as the ships are concerned,
right? It looks really good.
So on point.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sorry. Someone named Penny. Hold up. Someone named Penny says, "Let's get a move on. Y'all are talking too long. I got a life." Well, hey, Penny, you can leave whenever you want.
Hey, Penny, you're in the Eastern.
Your mom.
Penny's in the Eastern time zone, so it's only 9:30.
Is that my mom? Sorry, Mom. I'm just kidding. Bye, guys.
Anyway, so I'm not a fan of the D. I've always made that clear.
Hey, that's good, man. You're a guy. You shouldn't be a fan of the D.
That's not what I meant. You know, the Enterprise D.
Well, that's kind of how it sounded, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, I do think it's the fat one. I don't particularly care for the design of the ship at all. I think the work is
you just
done
call it
well.
The fat one like that.
right from the early part of this season.
Yeah, remember
remember?
in this show they referred to it as the Falcon.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Now, I think this is good model work and everything.
It's
Absolutely.
It's the body positive one. Come on, man, get with it. You don't want to get canceled.
Well, you know what? I think of body positivity. Anyway,
almost, baby. We probably only got a few minutes left. We're at the end. Yeah.
So they try to make it out like this is the moment, like if you were seeing the Enterprise A after all these years. But the problem is,
dude, and the musical score here, which I know you can't hear, was perfect.
It was great.
Yeah.
But the problem is that the ship is like it should be going boom, 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 because it's just a dumb looking ship. I'm sorry, it's just a dorky looking ship. It always has been.
Yeah, baby, we can go.
And so yeah, see, that's how they should all be looking at that ship going, yeah, I'm with Worf. It's like, well, the E was better, you know.
Yeah.
And of course, Danny's like, "Come on back, Danny. You got to get."
I think you made a CC level executive decision there. We'll keep going because we do need to get a wrap
They go
up
on the
here.
bridge, nicely redone bridge. Although when Riker mentions that, is it just me or does it look smaller? It does kind of look smaller.
It looks narrower left to right.
Yeah. Now I don't know if that's the camera lens that they use, or what, but it does seem like it is smaller.
Yeah, well, I mean, the original set would have been rigged up for all the cameras at the time and
Right.
the shot angles that they used to do for TV shows and everything. So,
right. But yeah, and I agree. Worf was right. You know, and that this ship, you know, is inferior to the E in every way, and so it would be better if they were on the E. And in fact, you know, it probably would have been better if they grabbed that Nebula class starship that was out on the outer ring. But you know, maybe.
Yeah, actually, the Akira that was sitting there because they had an Akira.
An Akira class ship.
Yeah, I'm thinking like from a pure tactical perspective, if you got torpedoes hanging around, like let's take the 5 minutes and move them over to the Akira.
And the Defiant was there.
Yeah.
The Defiant is an actual warship and design, and so yeah.
So apparently they just want to crash the Enterprise D one more time.
Yeah. So they power up the ship and take her out.
Now, there is one thing that's interesting that I don't know if you noticed it, but I picked it up, and thanks to, I believe it's Half Screen, who's been doing a lot of 3D cutaways of Star Trek ships. They actually fly this thing out of that central sphere, a section that in canon we've never seen before.
Yes.
And that is actually meant to take in ship and do serious rework or whatnot. So it's pretty cool. It does some smart things in this. And then gazap, and then end of show.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. And then more dumb stuff where Picard says set a course straight for Earth when they should be like set a course straight for Klingon space or something, because
straight for anywhere where they can get reinforcements.
Right, they need to get help.
Cerstis, I was talking about that classic design of the Starbase space station. There's a huge spherical section below the upper saucer part of those stations, and that area is a void. It actually is empty in there, so that they can do whatever it is they want to do with that section. So
right.
And we've just never seen it really shown off or anything, but a YouTube channel called Half Screen's been doing tons of Blender 3D breakdowns, and he's actually got a pretty cool breakdown on Starbase One.
Right. And it's a nice, like I said, the way they did the shot and the lighting and the model work and all that is just absolutely on point. And so, kudos to them for that. And Professor Brainy Specs comes in and says, "Guess I'm ignored."
Did we miss something from above? I didn't.
Yeah, if we did, that
I
was
don't
not
know.
intended.
Enterprise D is a great ship. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, okay. So sorry about that, Professor. That was not intentional. We've been, trying.
We've been trying to speed it back up again because we've been dragging. We've been all over the map.
Yeah.
All of us have been having a hard time to stay on target.
Yes.
Stay on target. Oh,
and there he is.
No, I got your text. I figured I'd come back for that. With her permission, but she is outside waiting on me.
Yeah, it's score time.
Yeah, oh God, I want to go last.
All right, Jason.
All right,
and not because of yesterday. Yesterday, you guys talked me up. I feel like today you're going to talk me down. So
yeah,
no, you can give it whatever score you want. That's up to you.
No, I know,
So,
but like,
yeah,
with new information.
Yeah, the influence here is rubbing hard. I know.
Yeah.
So my score on this episode is actually it's actually 2 scores. It's an 8 and a 3.
Ouch. Ow.
It's an 8 because there's all kinds of awesomeness and the show kept me engaged the entire time. It's a 3 because the second I slowed down a little bit and started thinking about what was going on, my head started breaking. And then the whole business with the fact that we watched so many episodes where so much of this stuff should have actually been slipped into the storyline earlier and let them actually have more material to work with other than just giant Jack the mystery box.
Right.
Jack in a box.
It is. That should be the name of this series is Jack in a Box.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys just don't enjoy life. That's fine.
But let me ask you, so that would make your score 5.5.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
no, give it a 6. Give it a 6. Come on, I'm not even going to go that low.
Danny, we're trying to negotiate other people's scores.
No, I'll call the official score of 5.5 because man, they need to pull up hard in the next episode.
I agree on that. They really. This episode was
Goku. Come on,
stunning to look at, paced really well, and just and honestly. The member berries that were in this episode didn't bother me because they all service the story as opposed to them being like literal tables full of stuff to look at like we got in earlier episodes. So I appreciated that. But they made so many really stupid decisions, both with character choices and plot choices that wow.
That cat is mean.
Yes, that is a mean cat. But character choices, plot choices, and just the whole direction of the show, it drags it down. They break canon in such crazy and blatant ways that it just wrecks my brain. This episode should have been the 3rd episode in the series so they could let some of this stuff breathe and really focus on this stuff and try to make it so that they're not doing things like, hey, we've never seen the Borg in a decade when we saw them last year.
Yeah.
What's your score?
And so I am going to give it a 5 out of 10.
All right.
And so that's best I can do right now.
So I was going to give it a 9 at the beginning, but you guys made a lot of good points. I'm going to give this a 7.5.
I know that's painful for you.
It is, but I can explain the reasons if I need to. Okay, I think I have enough time. So, 10, they kill Shaw. 9, they
Tavine should have lived. There's your 9.
No, that was last episode.
Okay.
Oh my God, the Jack being a retard. Yeah, Mom, I know. 9. You know what? I'm not even gonna. Okay, all right. Yeah. Hey, Ariel, that's funny. Ha ha. Okay, love you guys.
And Darth Maul, yes, I would say Mando is doing better this season than Picard.
Well, no, whoa. Mando has one good episode, and you kidding me? Come on.
Well,
No,
see,
that-
We
Mando's
won't
only
make
had one
final
good
decisions until next week is over.
Yeah. When next week's over,
I think Mando's going to be a more positive direction, whereas Picard, I don't see that at all.
No,
You know, Picard has been.
No,
has
the
been-
cat doesn't hate me. The problem was I was trying to get him off of me while I was on a show, and then he attacked me, and his claws hurt because he's an indoor outdoor. I have a doggy door, and I let him go in and out, and I have for years. I've had this cat for a very long time, and he loves me. He'll always come back, but I don't think he realizes his claws hurt me. You know what I mean? Like,
I think he realizes it.
Do you?
Cats are evil. Anyway, so there you go. So our this episode, now I do understand this was part one.
So what's our collective score? I did 7.
Well, you got a 7.5. I got a 5. He got a 5.5. So what is that average?
that makes it maybe about a 6.
6.
And Anonymous tipped $1. Thank you, Anonymous. And says, sure, this whole season is member berries, but it also worked as a way to retire the crew. The Borg explanation for Jack makes sense. I liked it. I'll take it. Hey,
I agree with everything that person just said. Yeah.
I'll say this, and I've tried to make this clear from the beginning. If you enjoy this show, I'm not holding that against you. I don't think you're stupid for liking this show. If you like it better than Mandalorian or less than Mandalorian, because entertainment is completely subjective.
Well, so you're right. No, remember, and I have been making those comparisons, just because it's what we do every Wednesday and Thursday. I have to, at the end of the day, Mando's pissed me off more so far. You know what I mean?
Where this show has pissed me off more so far.
Yeah, no, exactly. You know,
and
Mr. Switzerland Canadian here.
I go right down the middle.
Yeah, he's teetering in the middle.
I'm all over the place, right down the middle.
So there's no denying this is the best season of Picard. And
that
I don't
bar's
think
really
anybody would
low.
deny that. And Mercer's Cat tipped $1. Thank you, Mercer's Cat. Says that was me. I do prefer good writing over member berries, but I know what they were trying for. So thank you, Mercer's Cat.
Have a good one.
Live long and prosper, my friends.
Yes, indeed. And remember, you are the salt of the earth. I'm the salty trekker. And that cat that attacked Danny earlier works for
is
me.
just salt.
And I'm a salty nerd reject.